stay with us too late. But welcome all. Let me start saying hi. Well, of course, you know. The lovely and talented Netter of Netter's Network. How you doing, my dear? Are you sipping on anything right now?
I'm finally finishing my Meyer brand sparkling water berry flavored. And
That you've been drinking since
deleted stream, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have any more cold sodas here for you. I'll have to get one. I'll have to get you a soda.
And deleted. What are you sipping on tonight, if anything?
Grape Fanta.
Grape Fanta. Nice, nice. I am finally popping open my 1776 rye. Let me go full screen for this. The 1776 rye by James Pepper. And this was got a bit of a glare here. Born with the Republic. Of course, this isn't 200 years old. It's just the name of the brand. But it's 100 proof rye whiskey, and I'm going to see what it does to me tonight. This is either going to be a celebration or drowning my sorrows. So either way, I think 100 proof whiskey or 100 proof rye is probably worth it.
And he's already had his election cake.
And I've already had my election cake. I may have a little bit more later. So, cheers. I'll tell you what I think. Smells good.
It's a whiskey?
It's a rye whiskey.
I don't know what that is. Let me try.
You're not going to like it.
Probably not.
It tastes like whiskey, but it's a much harsher flavor. Think about like rye bread as opposed to wheat bread.
The first thing I notice whenever you have any alcohol is how it smells. This actually smells really good. Usually I get like a bunch of fumes coming up, and I don't like that fuminess.
Yep.
This actually smells really good. Now let's taste it. Yeah, it smells better than it tastes.
Yeah, I kind of figured that it was the route she was going to take.
It's kind of sharp, but then again, those hard liquors are always tasting sharp to me.
Woo! Kind of burns on the tongue there.
Ooh.
Let me say hi to everybody, starting with Lady Miss was the first one over here. Dropping the flower emojis. Thank you so much. Saying hello to Netter's Network. Age of Boomer says howdy. Yeah, I think you have the link if you want to jump in, Age of Boomer. Don't feel obligated though, because I know you probably have to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I know I do. That's why I'm not staying on all night.
FKHC 2005, otherwise known as Tim, says he's winning. Yes, he's been winning all day. We're going to talk about that in just a minute, because I'm curious about some things. Of course, salute to you, my friend.
The co-host of Demonetization Theater.
Possibly. Very, very likely. I'd say there's a 99.99% chance that this stream gets demonetized. Carton Marak, 2024. The Targ Party will be victorious. Chapla. Absolutely. Vote Targ Party. At least if you have a Klingon embassy within your jurisdiction.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh, I guess I should probably take that off so I can finish seeing what else is going on here. JPRPH1 saying howdy to everybody, including Space Fraggle. Has he reached 270? He is at 247 based on what I'm looking at. We'll get to that in just a minute. Metanui, I'm here just to be here. I have no real investment in this election. That's fair, Metanui. You can hang out. There's no reason that you can't. I guess I kind of figured that only, folks here in the States, that have a vested interest in the election would be here, but...
no, everyone wants to see the train wreck.
And even and even those that don't, maybe they just want to hang out, and that's perfectly fine, too. Nate says, are you guys still awake? Yes, I'm absolutely awake. Netter is not going to be able to make it all night. She's going
to work in the morning.
She does have to work in the morning. I've already called off sick because... one way or another, I plan on getting sick. And Daniel
gee.
Barry Sports Highlights. Happy Tuesday. Welcome, welcome. And I already said hi to you, didn't I? FKHC 2005, whom we always lovingly call Tim.
Well, isn't that his name?
It is. It is. And Connie Cleary. Welcome, welcome. And that is who we have right now. We have a number of parallel streams going. Netter's got a stream up. Deleted is on YouTube and X. I've got X and the Green Machine going. I'll tell you what, if anything happens to this stream and it gets completely taken down, I'm jumping over to the Green Machine. So, just saying, you can always find me over on the G for Green Grumble.
Yeah.
So anyway, let me go ahead and
I am putting in my Hi Sweeties.
go for it. While you're doing that,
on all the different channels.
I am going to go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see what it is that I'm looking at. So I am on a site called 270 to win, because 270 is required to win. That's 270 electoral votes. I just realized that, if we have someone who's outside the United States, they might not understand or be aware of all the fine nuances of the election. And this is what I've been following. And as Darth Plato said in the previous stream, there's different sites call differently because they have different rules for not wanting to be not wanting to accidentally have a Dewey defeats Truman sort of a situation.
Oh, yeah.
See, yeah, those of you that know your history know, or those of you that have watched the TV show Cheers know about Dewey defeats Truman. But what I found really amazing was before we even got started at 7:30 Central, that's 8:30 Eastern, for Live from Sparkwood in 21, there was a number of these states that were already called red and blue. And I'm like, how are they calling these so soon? So let me show you this. So let's take North Carolina, for example, right? You click on North Carolina, it takes you to a breakdown of the state itself. So at this point, 91% of the votes tabulated. They've got 50.8 for the GOP, 48% for the Dems, and then, whatever's left over. And so they're calling it for the GOP. Okay, fine. With 91% in, I can see that. But when I first saw this at like 7:15, 7 o'clock, there was 0 in. And it was already solid red. I'm like, what are you basing that on? And there was a bunch of states like that. Some of them blue, some of them red, all of them at 0%. I'm like,
well, are they normally red states? If that's so, they probably start them all off as
that's
red.
fine, but then you would be doing what I'm doing here. Like leans red, leans blue, so forth. This, by the way, is just my worksheet.
That was North Carolina you had up, right? Just now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Okay. Now, I heard a report earlier that where someone stated that North Carolina was beginning to lean blue. And I'm like, yeah, but not according to these stats. It certainly isn't. And I would think after the response to the storm, I would rather reckon not, except, maybe in specific pockets.
Well, and see, this is something that we've been seeing, for months now. And honestly, if we're truly honest, it's actually been for years. All of these outlets that are giving you polling data, the polls are all skewing by extremely conservatively 3 points to the Blue, which doesn't help them at all. Honestly, at this point, Rasmussen and the People's Pundit, those are the only polls even worth looking at. Beyond that, I would check out the betting markets. The betting markets have been sound year after year after year. And we'll talk about why in just a minute. But speaking of money, holy cow, Space Fraggle just dropped, a little while ago at 11 o'clock, he dropped a $5 super sticker, and then he dropped another super sticker. But I have to go over to YouTube to see what they look like.
Yeah, that was a laughing fox. So thank you for the super sticker.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
There you
That's
go.
on my channel.
And
it's saying bravo.
yeah,
Bravo.
I get confused.
Thank you, Troy.
I get confused. Yes. And so here's what I was going to say. The mainstream media polls, I mean, let's just be honest here. The mainstream media polls are biased. They are biased, and they are trying to elicit an outcome. They are trying to influence the election. Let's just call it what it is. I actually think they're working at cross purposes to themselves, because for weeks now, all of the outlets that I've been following that are, 2A outlets and other what you call conservative sites were calling, for high GOP numbers, red wave, that kind of stuff. But invariably they would say, but take that with a grain of salt. None of that means anything. Remember the tortoise and the hare, right? Don't be like the tortoise. Don't be like the hare and assume that you're going to win. You still need to get out and vote. Assume that you're actually the tortoise and we're behind, and make it #too big to rig. I got some more people to say hi to real quick.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw Geek Flag with Nate's comment. He said you should try Associated Press. It's more accurate.
If you mean for polls, I'll take your word for that. When it comes to media in general, the AP is not what you'd call very unbiased. But I will look at their numbers, absolutely. Brandon, the anime guy, welcome, my friend.
Brandon.
Haven't seen you in a while. Yep, the polls were mostly shit again. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, Brandon's
Shocker.
been following this all day.
Now, here's
Yeah.
something interesting. So Troy and I went to go vote this morning. And you know how you get those cards in the mail that has your precinct and everything on there?
Yeah.
We made sure we brought those with, because I can never remember what precinct I am. And we get up into the line, and I'm at one lady, Troy's at the lady next to me. And so I give the lady my card, because it's got my name, my address, my precinct number, all that stuff on there. And I said, "Oh, do you want to see my ID?" And she goes, "Oh, I don't have to." I'm like, How do you know this is me?" She goes, "Okay, I will look at your ID." I said, "Thank you." And I pulled my ID out and handed it to her. The lady that Troy had, it was just like, "Can I have your ID? It's a lot easier."
No. That's not exactly how she said it. I gave her my voter card to get my information off of, and the type is so tiny. I'm like, maybe my ID would be easier. She goes, "Yes, it would be a lot easier." She didn't specifically ask me for my ID, but she acknowledged that it would be easier to read my information off my ID than that.
So then, kind of loudly, after I gave the lady my ID, I said, because the girl's like, "Yeah, not a lot of people want to give their IDs." And so loudly I said, "Well, everyone should give their IDs, because, we do want to prevent voter fraud."
And demonetized.
And she just kind of gave me a smile, like, "Thank you for saying that loud so people heard it," because, yeah, it's like, so you'll show your ID to get liquor, or whatever, but you won't do it for something that's
You got to
important.
show your ID to get a prescription filled. You've got to show your ID to get a job, to drive, to
Walk.
get food stamps. Well, you shouldn't have to walk. You can push back on that. You can you do have a right to say I'm just walking here, unless you're arresting me. There's no reason to ask for my ID. But if you're a driver, yeah, you legally have to have a driver's license. And I know that there's a lot of sovereign citizens. I'm a sovereign citizen. I don't need an ID, blah, blah, blah. I know my rights, this and that. That's true if you're a pedestrian walking on the sidewalk. As soon as you get into the car, you agree to the rules of the road, the ones that you took in the test and you signed off on and you got that license. Yeah. And you need to have that license in order to have insurance, So, and we could talk about insurance as a scam later, but that's another thing. I don't know how they'll call Oregon after I just dropped off my ballot, just as the other drivers were doing the same. The ballot box had no person by it who will count.
Have the polls in Oregon closed, or
let's see. It is now 11. So 11, 10. Now, the Oregon polls must be closed by now.
Well, yeah, because even like California, they're 2 hours behind us. So, yeah, they closed a long time ago. It's 11 o'clock here, so it's 9 o'clock there.
So what? 7 is when the polls closed.
Yeah,
If I understand
all
correct?
the polls closed
Okay.
at 7 p.m.
I
wherever
voted
you were.
on Monday of last week, so I did the early voting because A, I had to work today. B, I wanted to avoid what I knew was going to be really heavy lines. And my interesting going to the polling place story was if there's anyone who is stumping for a candidate, they have to be X amount of feet away from the polling place.
Right.
Yet when I
Right.
walked up to the door, I had the wife of a candidate tried to convince me to vote for her husband. Like right at the door as I was walking in. And I'm like, I wasn't rude or anything, but needless to say, I didn't vote for him.
See, we had a similar situation like that at our polling place. There was someone, I believe they were far enough away from the door, but how ridiculous is that? What is the difference if they're standing next to the door, 100 feet from the door, or anywhere that they can talk to me, right?
Mhm.
I have some real problems with this whole concept of, like, I've seen the stories of the people wearing their Trump shirt or whatever. You're not allowed into the polling place wearing that shirt.
Mhm.
So the woman literally takes off her shirt and walks in her bra, No.
Go on.
No. I have a real well, no, you didn't want to see her without her shirt on, but
Oh, okay.
I appreciated her chutzpah. My problem is the First Amendment protects my right to walk into that poll wearing whatever shirt I want to wear. The government does not have a right to say no or keep me out of a polling place. I should not have to give up one right to exercise another. And I do believe those kinds of cases are going to be coming up, probably based on this election.
And the shirt that Troy's wearing, we were both wearing that same shirt today.
Yeah. So yeah, this isn't endorsing any specific candidate. This is
It's United
endorsing
States.
the 2A.
Yeah, it's the map of the United States, but it's made out of weapons.
Yep, exactly right.
And we both wore
This
that
is
shirt
my
today.
Rhyme sticks in 2016 from Walking Dead. That's how long I've
Oh,
had this.
Oh, nice.
This is me. I did this to myself with cookies and donuts.
There you go. I do find it. I just want to double check my numbers here. 247, 247. I have filled in a couple blues that I am making assumptions on. This is, like I said, this is my work page. Interesting. I notice as I look at the StreamYard. Oh yeah, that is much darker, and this is much lighter. Okay, it just looks different on my big screen. So let's assume that Hawaii is going to go blue. And then I'm going to leave the rest of these open for a while. I have my suspicions about Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, but I'm going to leave them open for now. GOP is still at 247. The official numbers right now, 209. I've missed a few. Let me see. What am I missing? Oh, they've called New Jersey. Okay. And they must have called one other. What am I missing? What am I missing? Illinois assumed, yeah. 3, 2. Colorado. Oh, New Mexico. Brilliant. Okay. So they're tracking for 213 to 247. At least by my numbers. Because like I said, I'm kind of assuming Hawaii. The others, if I was gambling, I wouldn't put money on them. Honestly, I think Arizona and Nevada are going to go red. I think Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania will go red. And I know a lot of you are out there. Pennsylvania has got all kinds of problems. Yes, they do. I expect those problems to clear up as the others come in.
Elon Musk is offering $1 million to people to vote in Pennsylvania.
Not to vote, to make a pledge that they will support. I can't remember if it was to support 2A candidates or First Amendment candidates.
Pennsylvania told him, sure, you could do that. We'll let you.
Yeah, it's his money to give away, and he is not buying anyone's votes. He is buying a pledge that they will vote for a certain... I mean, it would be no different if someone on the left said, I'm going to give away $1 million a day to anyone who signs a pledge that they will support a woman's right to abort her baby. You know? So, just, that's not necessarily saying I'm pledging to vote for a specific candidate. Okay, I'm behind on the comments here, so let me get caught up. Alaska is only one left, basically. Okay, fair enough. And somebody said that can someone verify if Hawaii is if the polls are still open in Hawaii? I've seen pics of polling places with people sitting with Biden-Harris, sitting right there at the sign. So here's something else I will say. And I'm basing this just on the polling place we went to. There is a wide berth of different kinds of polling people, right? They may have their rules and they may be very strict about enforcing them, or they may just not bother. I mean, it's like when you go to Comic-Con and you're supposed to have a ticket to get into the room where somebody's speaking, right? Well, there might be someone at the door checking IDs. There might not be. And the person that's there just might be, staring off into space and you can walk right past them. The polling places I found are very much the same. And there was a point where I had filled out my paper ballot and I was standing in a queue in order to do the thing where it scans them, like the Scantron. And I was getting no direction. I didn't just want to walk up. And there was me, and there was someone else behind me, and someone else behind me. And I turned around, and I flagged down one of the polling people. And I'm like, dude, can I, go, because, we're not getting any direction here. And these people, they haven't filled theirs out yet, and there's a bunch of open spaces. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can go and you do this here, and it's like, I get it, but let's stay together, right? I told you what happened to me today that convinced me to vote. If you did, I'm sorry, Nate. I missed the comment. If you'd be willing to share again, I'd love to hear about it.
I don't even know where you were at to do your voting, filling out your form, because I was at a table just to the right of where we checked in, and then I lost track of you.
Tim, I don't remember which state it was. I want to say it was like, I can't remember if it was Oregon or Pennsylvania. I'm pretty sure that it was one that is having a lot of problems right now with their polling places. Unless it was Pamela Anderson. Well, I don't know about Pamela Anderson these days, let me tell you.
I have that information. Hawaii, their polls closed at midnight Eastern, so 19 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. So they literally just closed. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Locally, I'm happy our state rep is leading by large numbers against an anti-2A, anti-police candidate. Yeah, this shouldn't surprise anybody. And I do think that there's going to be a lot of down ballot movement based on the presidential elections. So I think that's a good thing. Troy was right. Getting involved and getting the word out works. Yeah, Mark has been very involved in his local politics recently. Mostly, well, he'll give me the credit for telling him that he should. But the reality is, all I did was a little bit of prompting. He started looking at what was going on in his local politics, and he got horrified. That's what really motivated him, if we're completely honest. Hawaii was just called. Oh, let me go back. Am I on the... No. Okay, they haven't updated here yet. But I'm guessing it went blue.
Alaska is the only one left. And they will be closing at the top of the hour. So
Fox
39.
called Hawaii. Yeah, you know what? Fox has burned me too many times on the last couple of elections. Woke up to say hi. Thank you so much. Glad you're here, Big Al. Good to see you. I'm amazed at how much is red outside of the Chicago metro area. I'm not. That's why there's a lot of people pushing for a separation of Illinois from the rest of Chicago. The fat man can shove it up his tintype. His whole thing about we're one state and we're not divided. It's like no, we're not. We absolutely are not. And there needs to be some redrawing of the state lines. The more I read about Utahism, the more I think we need to redraw all the friggin' state lines. The only reason people want to keep the states the way they are, and I mean the citizens, not the politicians. The politicians obviously only care about holding on to their power. But the state, the people in the state only care about, well, it's tradition and blah, 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 blah. You're a moron. That's not why we do this, you idiot. They are closed in Hawaii. Okay, yeah, and Fox called it for Harris. Yeah, well, we kind of figured. I've got it kind of penciled in blue because we assumed that was going to be the case. In Hawaii, yeah. And Fox called to take the Senate. Interesting. Good. There we go. Okay, so I am caught up. So let me check. I'm showing 247 here. My projections are still at 247. 213, yes, because I am saying Hawaii. They haven't updated over here yet. 10, 11, 12, 13. Hawaii is the only difference between my two maps. So Mark was the one who brought up my home state of Illinois. Yeah, this is what it looks like. We got Peoria, Springfield, Chicago. What is this? This is Rock Island and St. Clair, these little tiny nothings.
Yeah, so it's not a completely a
It's
blue state.
literally these 3 cities that call the whole state. That is a huge problem.
Yeah.
That is a distinct problem with representation. Okay, so this is what Nate was saying. I wasn't going to vote, but I was approached by a Democrat with blue hair, a red shirt with a hammer and sickle, shouting at me, "We have to save democracy." So I voted, but not her way. Yeah, this is what everything that I've been sharing out on social media with hashtags, I've been hashtagging democracy is on the ballot. See, because I agree with the left. That was their motto. Democracy is on the ballot. Democracy is on the ballot. And I agree, but not for the reason they think. To them, democracy is on the ballot is as long as you vote our way, one party, which is the exact opposite of democracy. Michigan should be split into 2 states, North Michigan and South Michigan. Well, I get why you say that, Connie, but there's a very interesting history for why there is the Upper and Lower Michigan. There's whole YouTube channels dedicated to why the states are shaped the way they are, why the lines exist, especially why panhandles exist for certain states, why, for example, Michigan is split in 2 and so forth. I'm sorry, Matanui, and everybody else here who wants to fight this war of words. It is a democracy. You can call it a constitutional republic. You can call it a republic. You can call it whatever you want. But it is a democracy. When you give the citizenry a vote that determines, if not directly, who takes the leadership, who it is that gets to select the leadership, it is a representative republic. The representatives are chosen by a democracy. That's just the way it is. You know, let's face it, you don't want a true republic. You don't. I mean, that's kind of what we're starting to end up with, and that's not good, because then the plebs don't get any say, and only the ruling elites get to make the decision. Kind of starting to see that these days. No, we'd be actually better off with a pure democracy. Look at Illinois. Look at Illinois and the way it's broken up and represented. There's your republic for you, right? Whereas a true democracy, you know. Anyway, you're getting me off topic, but yeah. Fear tactics have been a thing since the 1850s. I'd say fear tactics have been a thing forever, but you know what I mean. If you split the states, you can create new senators. And see, that's what I'm talking about. You get better representation, but then the ruling elites lose their power. See, that's the problem. And that's why right now we're having a lot of people really upset with the way the most recent census went. Because it looks like Florida doesn't have as many representatives as they should, whereas Oregon and some other blue states have more than they should. Okay, whatever. The United Socialist Republic of Illinois would be appropriate. Yeah, that's the other thing, too. Call it whatever you want, but North Korea is a republic. China's a republic, right? The USSR used to be a republic. You know, you can call yourself whatever you want, but that doesn't make it so. Just saying, you know? Remember, there are such things as banana republics, right?
That's a store, isn't it?
Yes, but it's based on the concept that a certain Latin American country was overthrown by the CIA with a puppet government set up that was supposed to be more beneficial to U.S. banana imports. it never works out when the U.S. goes in and tries to change governments. Never a good thing. You know, it's like messing with timelines. You always have unforeseen consequences that don't go the way you think they're going to go. But let me get rid of this one. And where are we at? 248. That means we got another one somewhere. Where are you, one state? It's not
You got too many tabs
Alaska.
open.
Iowa. Actually, you know what? I'm going to bring this one down here, and I can compare this way. Virginia, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, 1 and 1. Oh, those are blue. Yep, I knew that. 1 and 1 in Maine. New Jersey, already got that one. I'm looking at blues. I should be looking at reds. Who am I missing? They haven't called Alaska yet. Haven't called Pennsylvania. 248 to 247. What am I missing? Oh, I see. There's 4 in Nebraska, so I got to give another one to Nebraska. Not blue, red. There we go. That brings us up. Yeah, Nebraska's one of the ones that splits their vote. See, kind of wish Illinois did that, but whatever. Okay, so let me put this one back. Get in there. So there we go. I mean, honestly, let's see. This was why I brought this up. So let's say we take Arizona and Nevada. We would need Wisconsin, Michigan. Well, actually, this is my prediction. So that would do it. But I don't think that we are going to get Pennsylvania called tonight. No, I don't think we're going to get Pennsylvania called tonight. But assuming we get Michigan and Wisconsin called along with Nevada and Arizona, I mean, yeah.
What are the tan ones?
The tan ones are toss-ups. They haven't been called
okay.
yet, or the numbers aren't in yet. Let me put that back, by the way.
You know, until you showed that, for lack of a better phrasing, graph of Illinois and how red it was, I never realized that my state was that red.
Yeah.
Because Chicago is our major city, and that is so blue.
This is why I said when we went down to Metropolis, you know, you're pretty much in Republican territory there, you know. And they are as frustrated with Springfield and Chicago as we are, you know. 1840, pro-slavery Dem Polk administration wanted to bring Texas into the Union, but separated as 5 smaller states. The reason why is because that would create 10 new pro-slavery. Yeah, there's a lot of really great, and that's like way oversimplified. Well, I should finish reading what you said, actually. The abolitionists said no way, and Texas had to come into the Union as one state, and this is why Texas is so big on the map. I have no idea what I'm looking at. I just want this over so we can move forward, at least in theory. Hold on, Potawatomi, and welcome, by the way. I'll explain in a second. I never liked the idea of the Electoral College. I think they should only come to play when it's a tie. Popular vote should win. There is a very, very good reason for the Electoral College, and I wasn't really ready to get into that tonight. That kind of is a whole separate conversation, and maybe we can do a stream about that one night. But there is something to be said for you don't want a true, pure democracy, right? Think about, well, let's put it this way, Nate. Did you watch the show The Orville? They had an episode where they went to a planet where everybody had a social credit score, and it was decided by likes and dislikes on social media. And if your social credit score went too low because people didn't like you, you could be thrown in jail or killed. You had no rights. And the problem with that is that's not due process. That's a lynch mob.
Yeah,
that's true democracy.
I remember that episode, and I went, well, welcome to Twitter world or something, and Seth MacFarlane actually answered me back, and he said, you're real close.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't even being obtuse about it.
No, not at all.
It was just, if it was just popular votes, then only the West and East would matter. Yeah, that's an excellent point too. So what you need to do is read the Federalist Papers and read the Anti-Federalist Papers. There was reasons on both sides for why they did what they did, including why they didn't abolish slavery at the inception of the Constitution. And don't think that there weren't quite a few states that wanted to. Things would have gone very differently if they had. We would have split the North and the South. Well, not exactly, but effectively the North and the South would have split at the inception of our country, which the revolution would have gone completely different, and yeah, we'd probably still be, the North would still be a British colony. The South might maybe possibly have been a Spanish colony. That's just one possible alternate history. You would be literally a flyover country. Yeah, that's part of the problem. That's called an Athenian democracy. Yeah, exactly. So, and this is where history is so important, and I think most people try to oversimplify civics. They try to oversimplify history, and you need to understand that there are very, very important subtleties that need to be taken into account. Like I said, if you haven't read or don't remember having read the Federalist and the Anti-Federalist papers, be a real good idea for you to catch up on. If slavery had been banned at the first convention, then it would have split the Union. Yep, that's what I was saying. Then the other states would be free to make separate treaties and or open to invasion. Yeah. There was strength in the Union. It would have been weakness of division otherwise. People love to say slavery built this country. No, slavery built the South, because California never had slaves. New York had no living slave law 4 years before Lincoln became a lawyer. Yeah, that's an excellent point. And here's the other thing. Let's make this a little bit more current, right? Everybody keeps talking about reparations. Who's going to pay the reparations, and who is going to receive those reparations, right? You think because you're the descendant of someone who was a slave, you deserve reparations? Wait a minute. Are you sure you don't have any slave owners in your background? There's a problem.
My family wasn't even in this country yet. Am I supposed to pay reparations?
That's what I was getting to.
My family's from Canada.
Netters. Well, your father is from Canada. Your mother is from England, and you are first generation in the United States. Therefore, your family definitely never owned slaves. Mine, it was my great grandfather who came over in the. Let's see, my grandmother had to be in the late 1800s, early 1900s. So it was after the Civil War, right? And my father Appalachian, theoretically Irish. His family probably would have come over in, the early 1900s. Again, after slavery. So my family never owned slaves. But you look at Italian and Irish background, they were kind of treated like slaves. Just saying. Not that I would want any reparations, because I was never treated that way. It's the same reason why Puerto Rico is a held territory. Yeah. Well, there's more to it than that, actually, Darth Plato. There's also issues of debt and gross domestic product. You know, a lot of people saying, they'd be more of a draw on our social security system than they would be contributing to the economy. Slavery didn't build the economy, but they contributed. Honestly, for all the talk that people do, slavery was something that was not going to last. The South tried to keep it alive well past its value and worth to them and their economy. Hold on, reparations is a scam. Well, yes. It would not be a one-time thing. It would be a permanent tap. Yeah, it's Marxism. It's just Marxism. It is an excuse to separate and divide and destroy. That's really all it is. It's modern Marxism. That's beside the point, guys. Welcome, by the way, Vagrancy Horror. My great-grand-uncle, was part of the anti-bad mustache guy underground in Germany. Does that mean I deserve a war medal? Well, it's funny because company I worked at about a decade and a half ago, I was doing a Memorial Day display, and I asked people to bring in like pictures of their parents, grandparents, great uncles, and whatever that had served in foreign wars. And there was one guy in the IT department's like, yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that. My grandfather, fought for Germany in World War II. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to. Deleted scenes. My family, both sides came here from Russia. Ukraine in the early 1900s. They left there because of persecution from the Bolsheviks. Exactly. It's primary an issue of strategy. Yep. It's the same reason why English has dominated Ireland, the Turks controlling Rhodes and Cyprus, and other islands. Yeah, exactly. Remember, guys, modern activists believe that people are just groups, not individuals, and groups exist in a hierarchy of race, gender, and orientation, and any other way that they can find to divide us. Because now gender isn't enough. Now they have to invent genders to further divide. But remember, like Dr. Peterson has pointed out, intersectionalism keeps dividing until you've divided into only individuals. So, yeah. So they don't give a flip where your family has 100 years ago. If you're white, you're guilty. But yeah, try to define white, because there was a time when Italians weren't considered white, and now they're trying to call Asian people white or white adjacent, whatever that means. And they all forget that we actually have laws saying that it's illegal to discriminate based on race and gender and all these other things. So, you go ahead and you keep plugging your DEI and you'll just keep getting sued into oblivion. People forget that the National Socialist Party in Germany had vast slave labor camps during World War II, and so did Russia. That's absolutely white. White meaning an oppressor. Well, I don't know. I'm feeling pretty oppressed by the left these days. I'm a black man and I don't believe in reparations. It's like my grandfather and Netter's grandfather got into a car accident and she wants me to pay the damages. It's absolutely ridiculous. Actually, that's not a bad analogy, Nate. That's actually a good point. Malcolm X also had something to say about that as well. And, well, actually, now that I think about it, so did Martin Luther King. This idea of taking handouts because you're owed something. You know what? You know what I'm owed? I'm owed the opportunity to make my own living. And if you take that away from me, you keep me a slave. And this is why I keep saying that there's a certain side that wants to just not give up slavery.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's like no one owes you anything except for your employer when you've worked for them. So I work my 40-hour-a-week job. I get paid. My employer owes me for working for my company for those 40 hours. Outside of that, nobody owes me jack.
What do you know about that? So it looks like the forecast is, or the closing polls have actually caught up to my forecast. 213, 248.
Huh.
I'm just doing a real quick back and forth. I think, 2-1 and 1. 2-1 and 1. Yep. 4 in Nevada.
Wait, are you the light-colored
Nebraska.
map, that one, or are you the other
This
map?
is me. This is
Okay.
me doing some speculating. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to go... Actually, I'm going to ask for you all to give some input. What do you guys think? Alaska Red? Should I go ahead and call that one? While you guys are telling me your opinion, what does Darth Plato say? I think it was Booker T. Washington who said that if you accept a handout as a black man, then you're admitting that you aren't capable of succeeding without the handout. I'll take you at your word on the implied quote, but honestly, everybody who has ever spoken against affirmative action pretty much subscribes to that philosophy. It really is. How did Candace Owens, and I don't think Candace Owens came up with it originally, I just remember hearing her say it. It's the soft bigotry of low expectations, right? You've been oppressed, so you need a helping hand. No, I'm every bit as capable as you. Yeah, no, don't help me. Because and I've known people in my professional life who literally got jobs through affirmative action programs back when they were legal, and have said to me they hate it. Because every step of the way, people have judged them as having gotten a handout, an unfair advantage. And they're always judged that way. Even if they are every bit as capable or more capable, they're looked down on because they had no chance to prove their worth. Okay, so Tim is saying yes, absolutely, Alaska's going to go red. FKC, Michigan will soon too. Love to hear. I don't want it to just be me and Tim saying that. Trump is up by 6% in Michigan, with about 57% in. Middle East terrorism comes about for some reason. Believe it or not, people are leaving the... Is that true? Man. Yeah, well, I guess I shouldn't be at all really surprised, because in all of the general, what do you call it? The polling of just the electorate, there has not been a great deal of enthusiasm. So if that's true, then I have to imagine that's probably true in the election camp. Somebody from Harris's camp told people to go home. Well, I mean, let's face it. wherever you're at in this election, unless you're one of the poll people counting ballots, you might as well go home and watch the returns like everybody else, right? I mean, but anyone else remember that song from the 80s? Body language, body language. Real quick, let me double check. I am actually surprised. Let me refresh. It's still showing a green dollar sign. I'm surprised. It'll probably stay green until the stream ends, and then they'll demonetize me. Hand to God, Troy. Had an opportunity for a pretty nice job, but when the hiring manager told me I was hired because they didn't have enough black people, I walked away from the job. God, how condescending is that? That is incredibly condescending. He's literally telling you to your face, I want to hire you because you're black.
Yeah.
I need more black people.
Oh, hi, Vigorous Horror. I don't know if Troy said hello
I
to you.
did.
And Padawanami.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, Potawatomi had made a comment I wanted to go back to. Let me see if I can find it again. No idea what you're looking at. Okay, so I am looking at the, if you're still here.
You got some splaining to do.
No. I got some explaining to do.
That's what I
Yes.
said. You got some
Because I
explaining
promised
to do.
that I would. So I'm going back and forth between two maps. I'm whatever you consider to be the official, calling of the votes. I chose 270towin.com. They've been pretty conservative about calling the states for the election. And right now we're just looking at the presidential election. Actually, I would appreciate if you guys in the chat would keep me up to date on the Senate and House elections. But we're looking at right now 248 for the Republicans and 213 for the Democrats. And this over here is just my worksheet. We are kind of leaning towards red for Alaska, red for oh no, wait, did we say Michigan or did we say Wisconsin? If we take Alaska, Michigan, and Wisconsin, that's it. It's over. Trump wins. And we still have Minnesota, a section of Nebraska, Nevada, Arizona, Pennsylvania, and 2 locations in Maine to call. But I honestly think that most of these are just holding out for the other states to declare. If it goes the way I've just outlined it, with Alaska, Wisconsin, and Michigan going red and closing, I think the other ones, number one, it won't matter. Number two, you'll start seeing the votes coming in without any kind of shenanigans. People love to say slavery. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm way back here because I was on Potawatomi's comment. So I don't think Minnesota has gone red in my lifetime. Yeah, that's what I've heard too. Oh, and welcome to Ted M2915 over on the Green Machine. Nervous, excited, we're waiting on 3 a.m. I'm going to keep going just because, honestly, this is my bag. I love this. I've already called off for work tomorrow. So I'm going to see this out to, I'll keep calling throughout the night. I certainly understand if people can or can't stay. You don't have to. Don't feel an obligation. It's only 10 o'clock here, so that means that you are somewhere in this neck of the woods here. You're in that mountain time
Honey, it's
zone.
almost midnight here, so they'd have to be 2 hours behind us, which would be the California.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're left coast then. Gotcha. Nervous, Didn't mean to do what? Ted M. Sorry, Oh, I see. Because you commented 3 times. It happens. You hit the button while it's still spinning. Don't worry about it. It's perfectly fine. Oh, the irony. Trump wins because of the wall. Yeah, exactly. Well, and okay, so there is a cycle. Oh, you know what? Let me put up the official instead of my worksheet. Just so we know where we're actually at. Gotta say hi to Rod Thunderheart. Just want to say hi. Welcome, my friend. It's always good to see you. And Nate's saying, I am not here for the politics. I'm here for you guys. Yeah, we assumed. But it's always fun, too. And Keely Chow. Hey, welcome. There's a certain psychology to an election, right? And it also explains why the polls are not Ted is in Texas, someplace that Netter and I have seriously considered moving to. We've definitely been looking at that. It is a big red state. Still
With lots of guns.
Still too many blue cities there, though. Just saying. But just swinging in for a drive-by like in on the Alberta-Saskatchewan border. I get that. Thanks so much for stopping by to support, Rod. You are a dear friend of the channel. Super appreciate you. Harris 1 Maine,
And it's at
and it's
216.
216. So the other 2 are going to Harris. Yeah, I'll give it a few minutes to see if that comes up over here. It probably will. This site's going to be a little slow because, like I said, they're trying to be a little bit more conservative. No Dewey beats Truman kinds of things. But like I said, there's a certain psychology, right? And people like Barris, people like Rasmussen, right? They get the psychology. The polls are, it's a little bit science, but it's also a little bit art. You have to understand how random selection works, random polling, and understand that you have to correct for certain elements, right? Okay, so for example, let's say you were a polling company and all of your polling was being done by phone. Well, in the modern age, are we talking about landlines or are we talking about mobile phones? Mobile phones, they're going to be able to tell that you're a number that they don't recognize, so they may not be answering. So the ones that do answer either only have a landline or are of a certain persuasion that they would be willing to answer their mobile phone and answer your questions. See, that therein lies the problem. So you may end up with a huge skew of people answering your questions that will imply higher numbers to one side, and you're not even getting any answers from the other side. So that's going to throw off your numbers. There's also the fact that how you ask the questions is very telling, right? So if you have to be able to determine from the questions that you ask in polling if they are even a likely voter. They could tell you their opinions all day long, but if they're not going to go out and actually vote, then all the questions that they answered for you are meaningless. You shouldn't even be counting for them, right? Don't want to get too far behind in the comments. I've seen a few of your shows when Michael from Retroblasting was on. Yes, I got to be honest. I get my highest numbers when Michael is on. It's just true. And I try to bring him in not just for toys, even though I'd like to do more toy-related streams. But the Indiana Jones, the James Bond, The topics that he's really a subject matter expert in. Definitely want to get him on. But if you look at my analytics, you see my numbers, then retroblasting's on, and then my numbers. That's kind of the way my channel goes.
I have a couple of quick updates here from what I'm seeing. Some people in the chat have been discussing that people are leaving the Harris HQ. I'm looking at a feed right now, and it appears to be a bit of a ghost town. You got some stragglers, but it looks like everybody's heading home. And I'm also, I can't confirm this, but I'm hearing Nevada may have gone to Trump.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that one, you know what? I'm going to go ahead on mine. And put it for Trump, because I was saying Nevada and Arizona for Trump, but wasn't feeling strong enough about it. But if Nevada's gone to Trump, well, okay, I would have to take off Michigan and Wisconsin so that I'm still keyed into where that's at. So I'm going to give Nevada to, and I also gave Alaska. Have they? Oops, I can close out.
Well, Alaska's poll should be closing right around now.
So I'm a little bit ahead of the game by giving Alaska to him. But how many electoral is that? Is that 3? That's So I gave him Alaska and Nevada. And that puts him to 257. That still doesn't put him quite over. Again, I still think that Michigan and Wisconsin are going to go red. But until we get a little bit more, I'm going to hold off a little bit on that. So the official is still saying 248. We'll see where that goes. I'm sorry, I'm falling behind on the chat here. Been looking on these channels like ABC, NBC, CBS, and the look on the reporters' faces, you would have thought their puppy died. This is a big problem. When you look at the reporting that we've been seeing coming out of CNN recently, when you hear certain networks saying that they're not going to endorse a candidate, and a lot of CNN's reporting on the polls and whatnot has been pretty unbiased in the past couple weeks. It really does look like the mainstream media realizes how effed they are as far as public opinion.
Yeah, plus the media should not have an opinion. It's like you report the news. This thing happened. That's it. Not this thing happened. Oh, and I'm so against that, or I'm so for that, or no. Just report what happened.
Just the facts, right? Was it Walter?
This is why I say on my show, you got to look for these alternative news sources, like Agenda Free TV. Newsmax seems to be fairly balanced. These mainstream media networks, they are not on the side of the people and have not been for quite some time.
So Nate is saying that the Republicans have taken the Senate. I think he or someone else had suggested that was what it was looking like earlier. Guys, that's huge. Keep in mind the concept of the separation of powers, right? The president isn't a king. Getting Trump in the White House doesn't automatically mean he gets everything he wants. But the Senate and the House definitely do help.
I got it.
As long as these are senators that will stand with the president and not be statist, wishy-washy, Republicans in name only. And I'm sorry, Delita, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I have another quick update here. Harris HQ at Howard University, they have cut their live feed.
Yeah. Harris put all her votes on black on Nevada, waiting on the wheel to stop. Yeah, and as we all know...
She's not black.
I wasn't even going to go with the whole race element of it. I was going to go with the whole roulette thing about black and red, keep in mind when you play roulette, it's not truly 50-50. The house will ultimately win, and I think we've got the house, right? Pennsylvania is going red. I've been saying that for weeks, Ted. I really have. See, this is funny. Okay, Ted, so you apologized for making comments multiple times. Here in StreamYard, I highlighted your comment, and it highlighted both of your comments. It's really weird. And I think it's the communication between the Green Machine and StreamYard. It's just bizarre.
And we don't mind comments. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah, it's not like you're intentionally spamming. Don't worry about it. It happens. Alaska just closed. People are calling it for Trump. See, I wasn't wrong. I have returned from my computer being dumped. Don't worry about it, man. Hey, look, that happened to me during what stream was it yesterday? Where I said, "Netter, take over. I got to reboot my system." Oh, it was during the Monday night at the movies, watching Dave. Yeah.
So we were talking about Dave.
I haven't watched CNN since they were exposed as the personal film crew of Yasser Arafat.
Wow.
Very, very good point, Darth Plato. Yeah, that one was starting to slip my mind. Thank you for reminding me about that. I get my news here on Rumble. That is probably the way to go. I think more and more people are starting to get their news from... Well, look at... what's that bloke's name that used to be the Fear Factor guy that's now interviewing Trump
Joe Rogan.
and J.D. Vance? Joe Rogan, thank you. Joe Rogan is getting better numbers than any of the mainstream media.
Yeah.
So you can try to deride him all you want, mainstream media. His numbers are better than yours. More people are turning into him than are turning into you for these so-called debates. You have destroyed your credibility with the American people. Go woke, go broke. Badlands Media and Red Pill 78. Absolutely.
And if you don't believe Go Woke, Go Broke, go talk to Tom Hanks right now.
Yeah. WDW Pro, Valiant Renegade, and I think Midnight's Edge have been talking about that. Yeah, he's the friends of the playground are getting their comeuppance, so to speak.
Yeah.
They got the Senate, good for the 2A. Yes, absolutely true. Well, in theory, again, as long as it's not a bunch of rhinos. Unless you're at Quarks, then the House always wins. Well, yes.
Well.
I used to... Or as Holographic Lita says, the Dabo tables aren't rigged anymore.
And me without Latinum.
Yeah, exactly. I used to tell my students who want to go into history, don't trust your source. Yeah. See, I went to school at a time when they very much taught you the concept of understanding and evaluating sources, right? And even sources that were considered to be reputable. Go at them with a Ronald Reagan attitude. Trust but verify. Netter is right. Harris's father moved from India to Jamaica, then married his Indian bride. That makes her 100% Indian, born in Jamaica.
Yep.
I'm guessing she likes the rum, based on what I've been seeing. And there we go. Alaska just went red officially on this site. Yeah, I thought I had that already. And am I missing any? Oh, oops. Idaho.
Yeah, it's like Rob Schneider just posted on Twitter a picture, 17 minutes ago, a picture of Harris headquarters with like 10 people just hanging around.
Yeah.
And then Trump headquarters filled to the brim.
told to people. Yeah.
Which one have I called for Trump that I gave 6 to Trump that they're not officially saying yet? What did I give?
Oh, it was in Alaska.
Alaska just went official, so that's not it.
No. It was one of your base.
Oh, it's
states.
Nevada.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me take off Nevada for now. Well, no, I'm going to leave it. Because I'm still projecting it. We'll see if I'm right or not. I really want to give him Pennsylvania, but there's too many shenanigans going on right now.
Okay.
What?
I'm reading just some Twitter posts.
Okay.
And Fanzine
Go
says,
for it.
whoever wins, it doesn't change the facts that God is good, boobs are awesome, and physical media is a superior format.
Agreed.
Damn right.
Oh yeah.
On all
Boobs are awesome.
counts. Absolutely on all counts. So, you guys hear the jokes that I make, and Netter's always like, I'm within throwing distance, but come on. There comes a point where Netter knows that I'm a one-woman man, but I'm going to like to look at boobs and naked bottoms every chance I get, because
To quote a line from Coupling.
because I'm a bloke, right?
Okay. Ladies, I'm single. Send Polaroids.
Yeah,
Okay.
pics or it didn't happen. I'll tell you what. When I get spam messages on and let's face it, you guys have all gotten it too. In fact, a lot of you ladies have probably gotten it too because they don't care.
I
These
get 50 of them a day.
They say, see, I'm not that popular. I get like one every couple days, and it's always a fake female account. I'm looking to meet a nice guy to make friends. Da, da, da. I'm not looking for this, not that. Yeah, whatever. Spam.
My
At
friend
least-
likes you,
At least send a picture or something, that you stole off the internet or something. I'm sorry, I keep bringing that one up. Seeing a green screen pretending to be Iraq. Yeah, exactly. Harris is performing worse than Biden did across the board. Well, nobody should be surprised by this, right? Even though he was a friggin' potato, he was more popular. People actually voted for him. Nobody voted for Kamala. In no primary did she win. If you can't win a primary, you can't win a general election. The only people voting for Kamala are voting against Trump. That is not a winning strategy. Karl Rove is about to show up at Harris headquarters to say, this ain't over. Okay, yeah, exactly. Oh, marron de me. Harris literally told me, to go home. Earlier, Harris's husband said she just puts her hands down and does what she does best.
That's what she does best. Yeah, he did say that.
If she's putting her hands down, does that mean she's doing some of this?
Yeah.
Putting her head down and doing some of this? That's what she does best, right? And Outlaw Bill. Hello, Netters Network. I voted for Trump today. Yeah, I'm not asking anybody to tell me whether or not they voted or who they voted for, but by all means, I consider this to be a First Amendment safe zone, so feel free to share whatever you would like. That doesn't mean I will read it out, but you can share whatever you'd like. Right, I'm allowed to look, but not order from the menu. I like that. Tell Julie I like that one. That's a good way to look at it.
Well, as long as you're not using like the Braille touch to read that menu.
Oh, I see it's cold in here. Harris made the same mistake Hillary did. She ran her campaign only talking about the issues of her base and telling independents just vote for them because they're women. Yeah, that. No. I thankfully have been finding out that the voting public isn't as dumb as that. Honestly, you may have just given Harris too much credit there, Nate. I would say that really what she did was vote for me because Trump bad. Don't vote for Trump because he's bad.
Okay.
And I think people have kind of seen through that in the past 4 years.
Now, I'm a woman.
Yes, you are. And I am glad of it.
I am not going to vote for Kamala just because she's a woman. I mean, I haven't really listened to her too much, but she said some pretty stupid things. And it's like, oh, honey, you're setting back women like 100 years. Shut
Yeah,
up.
this is what I've been saying about all of this DEI stuff. Is this the representation you want? Do you want to say that the most powerful woman in Hollywood is Kathleen Kennedy, and she represents women? Good luck with that. Let's see here. This is what I was trying to say earlier. They only look at people as blocks and groups of people. Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Real Wade Nation gaming clips. Look, Troy is. I tagged you in 2 tweets. I'm sorry, man. There's only so much I can keep up with. I've got so many tabs open right now.
Disney Sheeper said, election is over, time for bed.
Troy's always. Okay. I've had a lot of people call me a lot of things. I don't think I've ever been called level-headed. I'll take it, but I'm not sure I can believe it. But thank you, my friend. The election is over. Time for bed. Yeah. No worries. I'm going to stick with it to make sure that it's over. But
Because he's playing hooky tomorrow.
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
should
because
say
I'm going
today.
to end up sleeping in. We are at the midnight 14. Midnight and a quarter mark, so that means Netter's probably not going to be with us much longer. I always lurk on your channel. Oh, that's sweet of you to say. Yeah, and I've kind of found this out from deleted scenes too. You look at your numbers and you see all the numbers of people watching, but not that many people are commenting. So it's like, I don't know who all's watching me other than the people that I can see commenting. Kamala Harris is the biggest DEI hire there is because Biden only picked her for vice president because he thought she was. No. Okay, we got to be fair here. He is a potato, but he is politically savvy. This guy does have a CV that goes back to the Carter administration. And he chose Kamala because he saw her as figurative life insurance, not the kind of life insurance that J.D. Vance is to Trump. But because there's a reason that he announced J.D. Vance as his running mate immediately after his ear got clipped.
Oh, on Twitter, people are saying, let's hope we don't get a rigging at 3 a.m. Like
I'll
last
tell
time.
you, this is exactly why. You know what? Hold on to that point. I'll get back to that. 'Cause
Somebody else said, we did it for Peanut.
That
Yeah.
certainly did help. Real quick to speak to this point, he chose her because he thought, and it was actually good reasoning, choosing someone as unpopular as Kamala. Doesn't matter whether she was black, Indian, female, whatever. She was unpopular. That's why he chose her, because he assumed that the deep state wouldn't do to him what they actually did. Push him out to push her in. He overestimated the intelligence of the deep state. That's the problem. They were stupid enough to think that they could slide him out, slide her in, because DEI would win the day for them. They totally underestimated how unliked she was. So something that Darth Plato had said earlier, very, very true. The motivation is what's really important here. The motivation by Trump supporters is getting people out in droves. The motivation for Kamala is way down. They don't care enough to go to vote for her. I gotta work. Take care and be safe, everyone. Take care, Disney
On
Sheepherder.
Twitter, a woman posted, I'll gladly vote for the first woman president. When they give us a woman who's not a dumb, see you next Tuesday.
There you go. Christoph, absolutely no sleep till we know. At least those of us that can do that are in a position to do that. We absolutely can. The government is watching you, Troy. They always are, and that's a risk. Look, after Trump got shot in the ear, how could I not continue to do what I do on YouTube? Can I do any less? Fight, fight, fight.
Oh, somebody said, eyes in Detroit. It's 11 p.m. Why are boxes of ballots still arriving to Detroit's Bureau of Elections via cars with California plates? We're here and we're watching.
Good. Make sure it's you know what, guys? That's democracy. You can quibble about the meaning of the word, but it's the people, we the people, doing our job, right? That's democracy. It's not just casting votes. Take care, Wade. Thanks so much for stopping in.
Somebody else
I have a
says,
funny
Mark
story
Hamill
about
okay?
Biden.
He hasn't tweeted in 9 hours.
Who hasn't?
They said, is Mark Hamill okay? He hasn't tweeted in 9 hours.
Yeah. All of these paid Hollywood endorsements are going to be very, very quiet now because they're not being paid to say anything now. Harris was chosen because her race and her radicalism. That is why the deep state wanted her. That's not why Biden wanted her. Biden wanted her as political life insurance.
Another poster put, if Trump wins Pennsylvania, we all owe it to this man, Scott Pressler. He got 180,000 Amish first-time voters.
And it's not just him. The whole Amos Miller case.
Yeah.
Had a big influence on that. 1776 Law Center. Check out the Amos Miller case, which was mentioned by Robert Kennedy Jr. He's aware of it, and that's part of his whole "Make America Healthy Again."
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is confirmed or not, but I've heard the highest Amish voting turnout ever.
Yes. I'm going to say it's confirmed only because they normally don't vote. They don't believe in voting. But it was this situation in Pennsylvania that made them realize they needed to get involved. It's a religious thing with them, right? They don't see themselves as part of, civics and whatnot. And now they're starting to say, you know what? Maybe it's the godly thing to do. That's what's important. So Christoph said, so my grandfather would watch political news, and often he would just sit there grumbling, you a-hole. One day I asked him who he was mad at. He answered, that's Biden. He's a gangster. Yes. If you want to understand Biden, just think street level criminal. That's basically Biden. Yes. You're absolutely right. You're saying Biden didn't have a choice. Okay. I'm not arguing that with you because although I may disagree with you, you might be right too. I don't feel that strongly about it. That's what I mean. I'm not arguing with you. Not that, I don't think you're worth arguing with. You absolutely are. I super respect your opinions, Darth Plato, but on this one, I don't disagree with you enough to argue with you because you might be right. Years later, I see Obama's running mate is named Biden. I thought, oh, that must be the gangster Biden kid or something. Nope, it's Joe Biden. Yeah. And remember, he was right in there with just do a Google image search for Biden Carter. See those two together, and then you wonder why our economy is the way it is. It looks a lot like it did in the 70s. Presidents never choose their VPs; it's chosen for them. Well, you could argue that the presidents don't actually do anything. Everything is run by the deep state. With that kind of an idea. Fox has called PA, really? For Republicans? Fox just said Harris has no path forward. Fox is calling Trump to win. Okay. I think I'm a little behind here. 250. Oh, wait a minute. I'm still ahead because I think I called Alaska.
You call Nevada.
No, Alaska's already in. I
No,
called
no.
Nevada. That's where I'm ahead. 213. So I'm still right on Harris, at least as far as this one goes. I'm going to keep going for a little while, guys, even though some of them are starting to come in. Again, I don't want a Dewey defeats Truman kind of situation. How late do we have you tonight, Deleted? What time do you have to work tomorrow?
Well, I have to be in at 8:30. So
I have to be in at
technically, really, I
7:30.
should be asleep now. But I think I'm going to
But you're having
stick with
fun?
this and see
Okay.
where this goes.
I hear people do that with Trudeau and Castro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Trudeau.
Trump chose his vice president this time. The first time he listened to people around. Yes. So,
Yeah.
okay.
He's not going to make
Nate,
that mistake twice.
Nate is saying something that's bigger than what he seems to be saying here. So, yes, Trump made a lot of promises, and he kept a lot of promises in his first term. And honestly, I feel that as a president, he kept more promises than any president I remember in my lifetime. So when people are bitching and moaning about what he's doing, it's like, look, he said he was going to do it, and then he did it. You shouldn't be surprised, right? This is funny. CNN's website won't refresh.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, if he's won Pennsylvania, and this was again, I'll get back to Nate's point in just a second, but I was saying this earlier. All of these states where shenanigans are going on, I said, you wait. They're going to wait and see how the winds are blowing, and if they're enough for Trump that their state alone won't make a difference, they're not going to risk their own hides. They're just going to give up. And that's what's happening. I'm not going to get real into the details, but a lot of the stuff that happened 4 years ago, the mail-in votes, all this kind of stuff, the numbers just weren't there for them to do it again, right? A lot of states tightened up those rules. They can't get away with it again, or they wouldn't be able to get away with it again this time around. They're very, very skittish. And look, they're taking a huge risk because it really looks like Trump's going to win with or without them. They can't afford to be in a situation where they tried to screw Trump again, and now he's the president. See, therein is the other problem. Angelus, welcome. Sup, Troy, my brother from another mother. Alita sequels, yes, I want that so bad. Who knows? Maybe now that Trump is president, we'll get an Alita sequel, right? Did you see the CNN post about Kamala running both? Yes, I did. Gosh, I shared it out. I want to say I shared it out on X. Yeah, literally in Michigan and Wisconsin, 2 different ads. One saying one thing to the Palestinian supporting group, saying something else to the Jewish, literally talking out both sides of her mouth. And what's disgusting is in the live speeches, she's getting all these cheers. And it's like, guys, when you find out she's saying the exact opposite to the other guy, get your heads out of your asses, for crying out loud. Angelus, so glad to see you here. You're awesome, my friend. Darth Plato, tomorrow's headline: Trump can only beat a little girl. Well, that's what he was running against. That's all that's all he could win against, because that's all that was running. I don't know. I know what you're saying. I agree with you. It's just so damn frustrating. Google's election map hasn't been updated in about 30 minutes. I wasn't paying attention to my main map, which is at 270 for Trump Guess what, guys? 270 is what he needs to win. What did they give him that I hadn't yet?
I think they gave him. Wait, hold on.
I gave him Nevada. Oh, they gave him Pennsylvania. They gave him Pennsylvania.
So that map's theirs. Okay.
So
all
that
right.
gives him 270. By giving him Nevada, I'm giving him 6 more. Guys, the official one that I was using says Trump won.
Woohoo!
So technically that's a win, but I'm staying with it because I can. I appreciate all of you guys for hanging out with me.
So wait.
272 is needed? No, it's 270 to win.
270.
So this map that we're looking at right now, this one that says live results at the top, this is the real actual map?
It's hard to say. There's different sites calling it differently. This is as official as any others. Fox, CNN, any of the ones that are out there.
Okay. And he could still get those base states, couldn't he?
Okay. Yeah. So let me do my worksheet. I called Nevada for him. I'm also calling Wisconsin and Michigan for him. If that happens, I was surprised. I shouldn't be. And I'll tell you why I shouldn't be in just a second. But I'm going to say right now, I'm surprised they called Pennsylvania for him. But the fact that they did is another one of Mark Malnikoff's Troy was right. And I'll explain that in just a second. I'm still saying Wisconsin and Michigan are going to go for him. That may bring in Arizona for him as well. Again, all the states where shenanigans would happen, I think they're giving up the ghost. No shenanigans. They're not putting themselves at risk. So we're going to see more states coming in for Trump as the night goes on. That's why I'm kind of excited and I want to keep going. But and Minnesota's probably going to go blue. So I'm going to give that one to Kamala. That doesn't help her any, but I'm going to give it to her anyway. Didn't someone say that? Let me go back to the official one. I'm not seeing it yet, but didn't someone say that Maine had went blue? I mean, that makes sense. I would not be surprised if that's the case. It probably should. But the fact is, even if I give that one, where's Maine? Even if I give the remaining 2 to Kamala, that doesn't get her. There is no. What didn't someone say? Someone said there is no path for her to win. CNN's website still
Well,
frozen.
it's like that one scene in Dave, the movie we watched last night, where the guy's like, "Yes, I'm going to get this," and then the next time you look at him, everyone's left him because he's a loser.
America, F yeah, yeah, exactly.
He's a loser, baby.
So why don't you? No. We better not say that. Let's not advocate
That's why I didn't finish.
bad things to even bad people. Oh, Troy was right. Oh, yeah. So let me go back to what I was saying about Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, and I think we've kind of all had a consensus, those of us in the chat here, that Pennsylvania really does seem to be. Everyone's kind of been saying that it's leaning red. Definitely, if nothing else. See, here's the other thing. This goes back to what I was saying, too, about the polls, right? How do you poll the Amish? They don't use the internet. They don't use phones. You got to send someone out to them, and nobody's polling that way. You can't poll the Amish, and the Amish are voting big. That's a demographic they're completely missing. So that alone should tell you that Pennsylvania is going to go red. Let me keep the current one up. So we're at 270. We can breathe a little bit easier if we can get past that, because look, even though these states have been called, in theory, there could still be shenanigans, right? Pennsylvania is leading red because the liberals are against farmers, and farming in Pennsylvania's bread and butter. That's absolutely right. So this is one of the things that obviously Robert Kennedy feels strongly about. I've been feeling stronger and stronger about ever since I became aware of the Amos Miller case. And I would encourage people, Netter, this is not a sponsored stream, obviously. The Amish don't advertise, but Netter, if you want to drop the link for Amos Miller's Amish Farms, you might want to look into getting some food from them.
Oh, they have this popcorn. What's that popcorn?
It's called Ladyfinger popcorn.
And it's really
Okay.
yummy.
So let's back up. You guys know popcorn.
Okay.
Orville Redenbacher, you know what the basic size is, right? There's also the kind of popcorn that you get when you get like cheese corn, that bigger, puffier popcorn. They call that truffle popcorn. Okay? That's a thing. This ladyfinger popcorn is these little bitty, little teeny tiny little kernels. They look like grains of wheat. And when they pop up, they don't pop up very large. But there isn't a lot of kernel to them. So what you get is all that white fluffy, and it just tastes so good. Anyway, Netter will tell you more about
plus
that.
they have really wonderful cheese. We bought some buffalo from them. They had a special. It's like you buy 5 pounds, you get a 6 pound free. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like so far everything we've gotten from them, it's been really yummy. And better tasting stuff we can get around here.
And you can buy raw milk from them. You can buy raw cheese from them.
Yep.
Their meat has no what are those called, the steroids and stuff. I mean, it's Amish, right? It costs more, okay, because it's not mass produced. But dude, if you want to eat healthy, look, if you're going to invest, if you're going to spend your money, spending your money on Xboxes and PlayStations and, the stupid YouTubers, the super chats and whatnot, maybe you should spend some money on good whole foods. So look into Amish. Okay, she dropped the link. Welcome, Sin. So glad to see you. Always,
Sin.
always wonderful to see you. And Darth Plato brings up a great point that I want to comment on. Kamala has to certify the election. Yes, she does. And you better believe she'll do it. Because they made a stink 4 years ago. Then they changed the law about certification. So if she doesn't do it, she's an election denier. And she could be brought up on charges. Especially by a Senate that is now Republican. Yeah. They spent 4 years persecuting and prosecuting Trump. They can't now go and do the things that he did and try to get away with it. They made their case, and now they're done. But yes, so ultimately, the whole situation with the Amish farmers being persecuted, they've decided, we're coming out to vote. So yeah. And that's why they tried the shenanigans, but they see it going red, and they're like, we're not going to get away with this, especially with all eyes on Pennsylvania. All the sharing you've been doing on X and all the other, socialist medias has them scared because they know we're watching. We the people. You guys are making me hungry. Talking about popcorn? Yeah. And I had Sin penciled as a Harris supporter. Oh, no. You know what? I'm not going to talk about Sin and her. She can share what she wants to, but I know from talking to her behind the scenes, she, it's her thing if she wants to talk politics or not. See, no, really? Yeah, see, this is the problem with this format. I don't know if you're being tongue-in-cheek or not. There's no tone. CNN's website is straight up down. Fox News is saying Trump is about to speak. I will not be bringing that up here because I know not only will I get demonetized, I'll get hit with a strike if I do that. which is not fair, but that's what it is. Dems have denied elections. Yeah, I know. This is what we were saying for the past 4 years. What about this? What about this? What about this? What about Florida and the hanging chads? You know? But no. Trump bad. We can do rules for thee, but not for we, right? Or me, or whatever the rhyme is. So you mean she has to eat her humble pie? Well, she's the only one who's going to be eating her pie. Let me tell you. Hoisted by her own petard. Yes, exactly.
What exactly is a petard?
It's a nautical term. The rises the mizzen thingy. What's her?
Oh. Right.
Hoi polloi. Yeah, not toi polloi. Hoi polloi. They made their bed. Now they have to lie in it. They buttered their bread. Now they got to lie in it, right? I'm neither a Democrat nor a Republican. I'm just for a favorite, honest election. Yeah, look, the fact that I voted for Donald Trump, who used to be a Democrat, who has in his presumed cabinet Robert Kennedy, who's a lifelong Democrat, Tulsi Gabbard, who's a lifelong Democrat, right? They're not as right, neocon, Bush, Reagan type conservatives. They're far more middle of the road. But I think I've gotten way more libertarian and way less statist in my old age. And the best person for the job, absolutely. Hopefully, Dems will take this as an opportunity to get new leadership and throw out the DEI nonsense. They're very slow to learn, but yes, one can only hope. Just realize I'm going to a certain local convention soon. Yikes! It's going to be interesting to observe. I will be interested to hear the feedback on that, Mark. Yes. Really interesting. I'd be very interested to know how a certain Klingon pop warrior is handling all of this. I'm unaffiliated as well, have been for years, and voted Libertarian for years. Then 2020 happened. Yeah, that opened up a lot of eyes. I'm probably a centrist, but I confess this is bringing a smile to my face. Look, the Overton window has moved. You guys talking about being centrists, you realize the left is calling you far right. You think you're centrist, but you're a far right. They'd even call you a fascist because you're a centrist. But
Don't get demonetized.
I probably am anyway. I want to see who's Chad Bednar, the author that was on Last Call several weeks ago, just texted me. He said, "Glory be to God." Gee, I don't know what that could be in reference to. I mean, it doesn't specify. But I think it deserves an amen.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not even, for the most part, on talking terms with the big cat at the top of the stairs. But I'll give him a thank you. Still officially 270. Looks like, I really wish... I understand Nevada and Arizona. I give them a little bit more latitude because they are on the left side of the map. But come on, Wisconsin and Michigan, get your S together. Okay, so they've definitely called Hawaii and Alaska. Okay, I already had Hawaii and Alaska. They haven't called Nevada. They really should.
Well, I'm hearing some things that are unconfirmed at the moment.
Tell us.
That okay, folks, once again, not confirmed. Wisconsin, Nevada, Arizona, and Michigan all for Trump.
I'll put that. So you said Wisconsin, Michigan, Nevada, and Arizona?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I did that wrong. There we go. Arizona. Guys, that gives them 312. That's a too big to rig. It really, really is. Fox says not giving election night remarks according. Harris is not giving. You know what?
No.
For all the crap that I'm going to give her, that's probably the most intelligent thing she could do tonight is not open her mouth. I'm making a political prediction. If Trump serves 2 terms, then Vance ran for president with Gabbard as his vice president. I kind of like that, but I really want to see Ramaswamy get in there somewhere. You know what would be great is to see Vance, Gabbard, and Ramaswamy run against each other in a primary and do it with class, not tear each other down. Remind us how it's supposed to be. That I would like to see. And give me a chance to decide who to vote for. You know? I am well aware what they say of me. I am also well aware that I don't care what they think. Boom. Amen, my friend.
Yeah,
I'm with
exactly.
you. I have no idea what my actual alignment even is. It's never been important information to me. You absolutely have a right to that, I don't know what you call it, predilection or opinion, Matanui, but just keep in mind that politics affects every aspect of your life. It affects the laws that you live under, your freedoms, your taxation, everything you would ever want to complain about your society is politically based. If you aren't aware of what's going on around you, you can't get involved. And if you don't get involved, you're kind of out of luck. And I just realized that I've literally filled in every space except for this little spot here in Nebraska. Otherwise, this is my predictive map. So let me go back to official. Again, I did say I chose this one because I feel that they're a little bit more conservative. They're not jumping to any conclusions that some other sites kind of are. You don't need an alignment, just need a worldview. Know your worldview, not a label. Yeah. Angela says, full confession. I used to be ignorant. And let's be completely honest. We're all ignorant to some degree, right? Until they started the DEI and cancel culture. When they aimed their guns, quote unquote, guns at me, that's what woke me up. Yeah, a lot of people woke up in the past 4 years or so.
I have to
4
be
to
up
8
at 6
years.
hours. I'm going to bed. Good night, everybody. I'm not on earphones, so I can't hear anybody anyway. But good night, everybody. Thank you for staying up with us. We love you.
And thank you for staying up as long as you could.
Go Trump.
You gonna take care of my water for me?
Yes, I'll take care of your
Thank
water
you very
for you.
much. And some drinking water too, because I was dying last night.
Do you know where the refrigerator is?
I would have had to get up from bed then. Come on, you know.
Good night. Love
Good
you.
night, love you. My worldview is rather bleak. It always kind of has been. Well, I get that. What?
You didn't tell them that I stole a sign from the school next door.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like we have a high school right by us, and they had like 2 of every sign out, all of them Republican. And so I told Troy, I was like, when I get off work, I'm going to swipe one of the Trump signs because I want it as a souvenir. So after I got off work, it was around 5 o'clock. It's been raining all day, so it was dark outside. So I just walked outside, walked over to the school next door, grabbed one of the signs, casually walked back home, and then said, here, Troy, here's a present. I looked out. Last time I went upstairs, which was maybe, about 10-ish or so, and the signs are still out there that, from the other thing, so I might go grab another sign in the morning.
If it's still up tomorrow, absolutely. Yeah. Those are free reign. Absolutely.
Yep.
And by the way, Nate says, good night, Netter, sleep well.
Thank you.
I'm going to say this. I get where people could feel pretty black-pilled, could feel pretty negative about things, but what good does that do? Right? You have the ability to affect change, at least in your own life. This is something that I used to tell Mark all the time. Maybe you can't change the world, but you can affect close to home. I mean, as Dr. Peterson says, clean your room, right? At least you can do that. Take care of your house. Take care of your family. Then start looking at your neighborhood. What can I do to affect change there, right? And realize that you actually have more impact on the world than you think you do, right? Matanui, you have an impact on me by being here all the time, encouraging me, dropping the comments and stuff, and it's a ripple effect, because I think I've got some impact on all these other people, right? And you're part of a web, and you pluck that string, you're going to affect something, right? They wanted woke. Well, the country is now awake. Absolutely. And welcome, West Kegel. Kegel?
Hey, West Kegel.
Am I pronouncing that right? Welcome.
Good to see you, brother. Good to see you.
You know where the refrigerator is. Yes, that is going to be the quote of the night, right? And that's fair. That's absolutely fair. But, she's the first one to say, I didn't want to get out of bed. I feel the same way when I'm in bed. She bought us, okay, so I don't think we've mentioned this on a stream. She bought us those, those blankets that are like weighted. I don't know why, but she got herself one and it was too heavy. So I said, I'll use it. It's kind of comfy. It really is kind of nice. But boy, talk about not wanting to get out of bed once you're under that thing. Just saying. Curious to see how the court stuff goes down now. Here's the thing about the courts. The courts are supposed to be completely unbiased. But first, we know that a lot of these judges are activist judges, so they're not unbiased.
Yeah.
Secondly, they definitely are influenced by public opinion. So you want to impact the courts, impact public opinion. Let's hope things finally start swinging the other way now, Matanui. I'd like to believe that's the case, and those of us of a more rational, logical, intelligent mind would want to believe that. But I think one of the predictions that I made the other day, we're going to get a whole new batch of social justice warriors screaming. We're going to have a lot more memes coming up soon. Yeah, we are adorable. Thank you. Thank you so much. Fox News just called it for Wisconsin. Okay, well I've already put it up on mine, so good on them. Fox.
Why do you wait till morning?
Netter went and got the other sign.
A bunch of the other ones are missing.
Geek Flag says, Troy, Netter, you two are adorable.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Bye bye. Your worldview. Yes, exactly. I'm too far into my ride to try to speak decent German. It's in the sum answer you give to the most fundamental questions, such as what is God, what is morality, what is human, what is justice. Just saw something funny on Twitter. I've been hearing a lot of funny things.
Oh,
coming out
I'm
of
seeing
Twitter.
some funny stuff here too.
Celebrate with peanuts for peanut and bananas for Hammurabi. Well, what do you celebrate with for the raccoon? Trash, because we're all trash. All of us on the MAGA side, right? I saw that we win. Yes, we did. Trump 2016, a new hope. Yeah, I like that. Exactly. Google Map still hasn't updated, and CNN site is up, but hasn't updated in hours. And they're going to claim, oh, it's bandwidth. Too many people trying to access and refresh. Mm-hmm. The Empire Strikes... Trump 2020, the Empire Strikes Back. Awesome! Trump 2024, Return of the Jedi. Amen! 2028, Tulsi Gabbard, Force Awakens. Don't! Those movies don't exist. It's over like Grover. Grover. I just realized that's Frank Oz, so it's still basically Yoda's voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Rancor Steve. Howdy, y'all. You awesome people. Yeah. That was the other thing I wanted to mention earlier in the stream. This was a last-minute decision on my part. I know that there are a lot of streams out there doing this tonight. And if you guys were all over at Valiant Renegade and all those other guys, I understand. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I get it. We're all one big happy. Just, looking to hang out. Trash because it's a trash fan. Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Fox News projecting Trump as the winner, 66.1% to 31.3%. Electoral College, 277 to 226.
How much again? 227? Or wait, 200. What was it again?
277 for Trump, 226 for Harris.
With some states not in yet? Because I got 225 for Harris, 312 for Trump. But that's just my
there's
numbers.
a few that aren't in yet. So
That's what okay. That makes sense to me then. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so 270 wins it. Anything beyond that is gravy.
He has surpassed that. So,
and if he clears 300 the way I'm predicting, not only is that hashtag too big to rig, that sends a very loud, clear message. All these people, there was some ass talker that I saw on I want to say it was CNN today, who was like, there's still X many million people supporting Trump, and he said he's going to be a dictator on day one, and all these other bull crap lies. And you show them he said that. Oh, he didn't actually mean that. It's because these people are more intelligent than you give them credit for. They understand things in context. They know what he means when he says it, And those dumbasses are going to have to read the room. He didn't just win, he won by the largest numbers one can possibly... You're never going to see the Reagan-Mondale numbers ever again because of the way elections work now. This is the closest thing you get to a Reagan-Mondale win. He's going to win more states and will probably get more than 300. Okay. When all is said and done, which is what I'm predicting, Sin. So, yeah. I'm about to lose my earphones. Man, damn it. If that happens, I'm going to have to plug in, and there might be some echo briefly. So, we'll see what happens there. But, Trump promised this would be his last run for president. He already came through on a campaign promise. Yeah, exactly. And let's face it, he's going to win. So this has to be his last because, you can only run for 2 terms. Or you can only hold office for 2 terms. Greetings, Sashi. Welcome, my friend. He's going to clear 300. Yeah. Whoops. Sounds like he won the popular vote too. Yeah. So you can't argue some BS electoral college blah 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 blah. Yeah. Well, he won the popular vote too. However you look at it, he won. More people came out to vote for Trump than came out to vote for your girl. So you better reevaluate. Maybe you are in an echo chamber. Vagrancy horror, aren't you only allowed to run twice? No. You can run as many times as you want. You can only hold office for 2 terms. That's... And that may be what you meant, but the distinction is important. So middle class lady isn't winning. Yeah, right, exactly. And I just lost deleted scenes for some reason. He started robot there for a second, so I'm not surprised. Tree Rock Creations. How about the Senate and the House numbers? Okay, we haven't been following those close, but somebody in my chat did tell me we got the Senate. I'm assuming we won. We held the House. Guys, if I can get some numbers on that, I'd appreciate that. Mark Malikoff says, can you imagine what our country's enemies must be thinking right now? Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, interestingly, our enemies, so there was, and I think this is more mythology than reality, but there was a thought that when Reagan won, that Iran was kind of crapping in their proverbial pants, and our enemies were afraid because they thought he was a little unstable, and that he might just press that button, right? Which wasn't the case, but there was that impression, right? I think it's the opposite now. I think they're more willing to work with Trump. Trump is more the stable one that can reach across the aisle and negotiate. They're probably, even our enemies are probably glad that Trump is where he's at. But they also know they won't be able to get away with shenanigans either. Definitely too big to rig. Thank heavens. Yes. Everyone knows how Trump talks and repeats, etc. But Vance's interview on Rogan did impress me a bit. There you go, Potawatomi. And I'm actually surprised I don't hear more people talking about Robert Kennedy. He's put a lot of things in perspective since he joined the campaign. They're going to try to put him in jail still. The Senate and the House is up. Governors too, I think, unless that changes since I saw it earlier. Look, I was predicting if Trump wins, it's going to affect the downstream votes. So I think people are going in and voting for Trump, and they're going, screw it, I'm voting Republican straight down the line. I'm not necessarily advocating that, because I think there's some downstream Republicans that might be only marginally better than the blue guy, but, better is better, I guess. Was it because of the squirrel? The squirrel was the last straw. It helped. It absolutely helped. Certainly within the last week, it would have been a fair dinkum if New York had gone red. If New York had gone red, then I would have said, yeah, that's all the peanut vote. But New York didn't go red, so. But that does make me wonder, how did New York do? Considering that's New York, that's pretty damn good. 44% for Trump in New York. That's not bad. I don't know. Just my take on it. But anyway. Trump has been elected as a lame duck. That hasn't happened since Grover Cleveland. Yeah, that's true. Non-consecutive terms. Grover Cleveland. Is Grover Cleveland the only one?
Well, not now.
Trying to think. Well, no, not now. Yes, but I mean before today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Grover Cleveland. I'm trying to think. Yeah, Teddy tried and failed. FDR just kept going for 4 terms. That's when they said term limits on the presidency. Now let's start looking at term limits for the House and Senate. No worries, Connie. We're still going.
Good night, Sid.
My earphones are going to die on me. You got to head out. Take care. Iran was afraid of Reagan. They saw his cowboy movies and saw that he was the opposite of Carter. He definitely was opposite of Carter. There's no doubt about that. Look, whether or not you believe that Reagan was, like a hawk, the deep state that was behind him absolutely was. So that in and of itself would have been enough reason for Iran to kind of pause. There was a belief at the time that the whole hostage situation was cleared up specifically because they were afraid of Reagan. I have my doubts about that, but give me a second. I'm switching headphones real quick. Headphones, and say something deleted so I know which ear you're coming in.
Testing, sound check,
Yeah,
sound check.
You're,
1,
you're
2, 3.
still in this one.
You're good.
You're still
All
in.
right.
No, I gotta switch. I gotta tell it which ear I want it in.
Okay.
That sounds bad. Say something again.
Sound check, 1, 2, 3.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
So yeah, unfortunately I'm tethered, but boy, when your stream is going this long, we've been going since 7:30, not specifically on this one stream, but between our three different shows tonight.
3. Yeah.
3. But yeah, so let me back up. I want to make sure I haven't missed anything. I think Putin is satisfied. He'd rather negotiate. Look, I don't care what you think about all the bad countries, right? Iran, China, Russia. They're all bad, right? None of them really want to go to war with us. They don't. They will if they have to, but they don't really want to. Negotiation is absolutely something they want to do. That's the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, we got that. Harris will not speak as tearful supporters leave. Watch. Yeah, exactly. Republicans have the Senate, and the House is still up for grabs. Okay, thank you. I think it's what the world wants. Nobody wants endless war. Yes, the only ones that want war are the ones that profit from it. Malayan companies were recently sanctioned for deals with Russia. We were U.S. allies, but recently joined BRICS. Yeah, this is something I was saying to Mark Malnikoff a while ago. The stupidity of the Biden administration has pushed a lot of our allies to turn against us. They pretty much have to for financial reasons, Let's see. The Republican Party hated Reagan before. Yeah. He was another one who left the Democratic Party to join the Republican Party. And it started a trend. I mean, that was a long time ago, but it's been continuing. Yeah, it might not. I mean, it's a collection of opportunity, and if the winds change, yeah, that'll change too. The first thing that Trump needs to do is turn off the ATM to the Ukraine. Absolutely. What I've been posting on social media all over the place, up and down, I've been saying, Your choice is peace abroad and prosperity at home, or war abroad and poverty at home. That's your choice. I liked Reagan, no nonsense. I will never forget how he dealt with Libya and the Challenger disaster. Yeah, he was... Reagan was a lot like that character of Dave in last night's movie, right? He knew how to connect with the people. He knew how to reach across the aisle. He was a good communicator. But he wasn't really in charge. I didn't know that at the time. I've come to realize that. Let's just say that Jodie Foster was not the reason that he got a collapsed lung. Okay? Let's just call it the way it is. Matter of fact, Trump needs to make the Ukraine pay us back some of that money or buy weapons from us. Nah. You cut your losses and be done with it. You know, it's not worth trying to we lost that. We burned that money, it's gone. Skeptical of what? The Reagan theory? Every assassination that we've seen in our lifetime and our parents' lifetime has been politically motivated. I'm not buying these lone gunman conspiracy theories. It's bull crap. And did I see just Michigan just went up? It's at 280 now officially. Or not Michigan, Wisconsin. So they're now officially calling Wisconsin. So they're catching up to me. 213, I'm giving her 225. But that's still not going to help her any. Interesting. So Wisconsin just went red. Good. The problem with Ukraine is getting out while keeping face. What face do we need to keep? We never should have been there. The world knows it. We know it. Just pull out. In fact, not just pull out of Ukraine. Pull out of the UN. Pull out of NATO. We need to get out of all that crap. There's no saving face. There's saving money. I'm tired of financing all this bullshit. There's a certain sweetness to this rye. I like it. I really like it. But boy, it burns going down. It really does. You know, I would have agreed with you on that, say, 5-10 years ago. Now I could believe just about friggin' anything. Honestly, the next 2 months, we're going to see some weird shit. Things that you would not expect. Mm-hmm. Now, don't take that as any kind of Nostradamus-y thing, because that could mean anything. But it's going to be a wild ride for the next 2 months. UN needs to be told to take a globalist agenda and get out. Yeah, exactly.
Agreed.
We don't have to pull out of Ukraine. We have no troops on the ground. We just... Yes, stop giving them... Okay. When I say pull out of Ukraine, I mean our interests out, not physically. Yeah. The problem facing this country are more profound... that is sitting in... than... Let me see if I understand what you mean. The problem facing this country are more profound than probably who is sitting in the White House. Yes, that's absolutely true. The ride won't be over until the dust has settled. Look, we're going to have another January 6th coming up. It's going to be very different this time around, but something will happen. Not the same thing, but something will. The problems facing this country are more profound than who's sitting... Okay, so I guessed you right. I got it right. Okay. Yeah, that's true. No, you're absolutely right. But that is the first step towards solving this problem, right? We gotta... we got enough people aggravated to get out and vote. Took the Senate. Hopefully we hold the House. Take the presidency. Now the president can start rolling back, the three-letter agencies, can start, empowering at least the Senate. If he has to fight the House, he has to fight the House with the veto pen, But he has assembled a team. Look, you don't get shot at. You don't take a bullet. Stand up and say, fight, fight, fight. Appoint J.D. Vance. Bring Robert Kennedy and Tulsi Gabbard and Elon Musk onto your team. And not plan to make big changes. Problem with the State Department foreign policy is Wilsonism. You're right. So long as it's entrenched in state, nothing will change. So not getting out of NATO till then. Yeah, you're right. I'm talking goals, not first steps, right? First, you got to roll back the state. Then you start initiating these other changes. But when you're attacking it on multiple fronts, when you have the executive branch, when you have the legislative branch, right? Looks like Trump is going to get to make 2 more judicial appointments. It's going to be kind of a wash because we're going to have 2 conservative judges retiring, but it means we hold on to a majority in the judiciary. Real change can happen. It really, really can. Yeah, here's the problem with NATO, though. Why does NATO even exist after the fall of the Soviet Union? It should have been disbanded. But you're right. They want to keep expanding it, which is exactly why I don't blame Russia for what they're doing. I'm not saying that I agree with it. I'm not saying I'm on Russia's side. I'm saying I fully understand it. One of those agencies needs to become a convenience store. Yeah, well, I think they all do.
They all do.
The first thing Trump should do as president is deport all the Hollywood celebrities who stated they would leave the country if he was elected.
Now I get to go off on my tangent now.
Go for it. Go for it.
And I am someone who was always a big fan of the cinema.
I'm sorry, of who?
Of the cinema.
Oh,
cinema.
okay. Cinema, yes, okay.
I was trying to be funny. And, lately, not so much. Because I'm someone who used to be able to divorce actor and character.
Mm-hmm.
I am no longer able to do that.
Yeah, I've gotten... I've had a much harder time doing that myself.
I am at a point to where if you make your politics a part of your film, then I have to critique the politics too.
I'm going to say in the past 5 to 6 years, I've gotten to the point where I refuse to go see any movie that Brie Larson was in, that what's her name? The weird girl. I wouldn't see anything she's ever in. I was interested in West Side Story, but she was in it, so I wasn't going to see that. I won't see another Robert De Niro film. Won't see anything with Mark Hamill in it anymore. You know?
Well, the thing with me is this: is part of my channel is reviewing film. So, like, I kind of have to, True. It's part of it, But, I've heard all through the years, all of these people says, "Oh, I'm going to leave the country." You've got fucking Tuvok coming out, going, "I'm going to, do harm to myself," and all of this. These
Tuvok, the holographic doctor, everybody. On the Discovery and whatnot.
Yeah, look.
Mark had to deal with all that crap in person when he went to the last Star Trek con. What's his name? Hugh of Borg wearing what was it, a Kamala shirt or something? And people were like not going to get his autograph. Even if they were Kamala fans, it's like, we came here to get away from politics. We don't want politics here. Nobody wants politics here. Even if they agree with your politics, they don't want the politics.
I mean, look, hey, these people are narcissistic cowards.
Yep.
They are not going to leave, even though they say they are. They're not going to do harm to themselves because they're too stuck on themselves to do it. Best thing for them to do is to shut the fuck up, make your little movies, remember that you are not essential personnel because you've been told that you are for far too long, and you lie in bed that you have made for yourself. And that's the fact that you have burned your industry to the ground.
Yep.
So you can cry all you want for the next few weeks. I will drink up every one of your tears. Because I no longer care. You showed your true colors. You've proven that you are the communist that my father always said that you were.
So one of the things that some of the people in chat might not be aware of, you've seen a lot of these Hollywood celebrities coming out. Now, let's face it, most of them are leftists. Most of them are commie socialists, right? Mm-hmm. So they really are, in the Harris camp. But a lot of these celebrities are just like a lot of what you guys were saying. Oh, I don't really care about politics, blah, 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 so on and so forth. The reason they're coming out for Harris is because they're getting paid to do so. Check out Midnight's Edge, their video from today. Well, yesterday now. Talking about that. A lot of these Hollywood celebrities, if their teleprompter isn't going, they can't speak because they've been paid to read a teleprompter and endorse Kamala Harris. And did you notice that all the people that were coming out for Kamala Harris were Hollywood celebrities and rhinos that do not represent the Republican Party? Liz Cheney and the other warmongering statists, right? Those are the only people coming out for Harris. The unions, actually even a lot of the religious groups, there's a lot of minority groups that were coming out for Trump, right? When I saw the unions coming out for Trump, I was like, the tide's changed. The tide is absolutely changed. Yeah. Oh, fuck Bruce Springsteen. He's been a fucking commie. When I used to love the song Born in the USA, and he came out and said, you guys don't understand it, it's an anti-Vietnam thing, and I'm like, okay, he's a commie. Even though I would probably agree that we didn't belong in Vietnam, he hates America. That whole Born in the USA was an anti-American, not pro-American thing.
Yeah, Springsteen, Mellencamp, all of those guys, they're not your friends. They just care about how much money they make when you go to their concerts. That's it.
Mark, not only is Illinois surrounded by red states, but most of Illinois is red. Most of Illinois is red. Look at this. Look at this. That's Illinois for you. All the blue is Chicago, Peoria, and Springfield, the three cities. Honestly, these little counties, they're tiny little counties. Screw those bastards. But this is bullshit. This is bullshit. Even Rockford is red. This is why I want redistricting. I really do. I want Illinois. And the state of Chicago. Just cut them off. I don't need to be connected to the lake. You know? I'll bring my freight in through Indiana. That's fine. No problem. You know who else was a great stage presence? Garth Brooks. He put on a great show. Then he went all woke. Fuck him now.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I'm not saying these people don't do great stage shows. Yes, they do. But, so what?
Again, talking about democracy,
Yeah.
decide where you spend your money. Wall is closed, walking away. Absolutely.
I'll add one more to that. Be the competition.
Yeah. Absolutely. Look, there's a reason. Look, I'm Little Joe Nobody YouTube channel. And yet you guys are all here hanging out with me watching the returns, right? Mm-hmm. This is the democratization of the First Amendment. This is the democratization of media, right? Yeah, no, I don't have a journalistic background. I'm not claiming to have any insights or anything like that. I'm just Joe Nobody sitting in my living room, effectively, looking at the returns. I was going to be doing this whether I was streaming or not. But the majority of my members said, yeah, we'd hang out with you if you stream. So I did. And you guys all came and we hang out. And I drink and I get drunk. Turns out I was celebrating. If it wasn't the case, I would have been drowning my sorrows. Either way. Taking the day off tomorrow. Because to me, Election Day is a holiday that I need to recuperate from. And, yeah. You know, it's you're here instead of hanging out on CNN. The only reason you're going to CNN is to see if it refreshes, and it doesn't, and then you laugh. You know?
Yeah.
What did I... Wait. Somebody say something about... give me a second here. Why does Bruce Springsteen look like an old lesbian? Shows you what catches my attention, right? What'd you say? Lesbian? Something about lesbians? Sorry, I'm talking about music.
Yeah,
no,
no,
that's fine.
I do too, man. You know, I do karaoke shows for a reason.
Look, Bruce Springsteen did a great version of Fire.
Oh,
You
hell
know?
yeah.
I love that
that
version of
version.
Fire.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a kicking version, you know. What was the... Oh, Santa Claus is coming to town. His version of Santa Claus is coming to town? Spot on, you know.
Mhm.
He's still an asshole.
Yeah.
Work is going to be real interesting tomorrow. Yeah, you'll have to tell me what happens, man. He works at a place where there are some characters. Let's just
I
leave
do
it at
too.
that.
Yeah. Trump is on stage right now.
Okay, you guys are gonna have to let me know. I'll catch the notes tomorrow because
Right.
again, I can't bring it up. I'm not gonna tempt fate. You know. Let me real quick refresh on my channel page. I'm still technically monetized on this stream. Hey, you know what? All of you that are here, it says there's 29 of you that are here. I would like to know, those of you that are on my channel, have you seen advertisements while you've been on my stream tonight? Just curious. Just want to know.
Yeah, let me know too in my chat.
Him too.
please.
Yeah. Let us know if you're seeing adverts, you know, like interrupting us, you know, and and actually, I'd kind of like to know what ads you're seeing too. Journalism predates freedom of speech. Voltaire changed the notion of how journalism is supposed to work. Good point. Excellent point. Well, keep in mind too that our Bill of Rights is predicated on the idea that the rights enumerated exist a priori to the document. They are not granted by the government. They are pre-existing rights that the government does not have a right to infringe on. This is the first election where I am not watching a major news network. You know what? Now that you mention it, same here, actually. And to me, this feels like democracy. Agreed. I agree 100%. Frederick the Great asked Voltaire to visit Prussia to see how enlightened he was. Voltaire pointed out that Frederick was brutal to news people, so Frederick and Voltaire had Voltaire thrown in jail. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, you're real enlightened. They tend to kind of prove the opposite point, don't they? Trump has taken the stage with God Bless the USA blaring. The Lee Greenwood song? Good song. Good song. I have no reason to dislike Lee Greenwood. Now that I think about it, I'd love the Imperial March to be played as Trump arrives in D.C. You know what would be kind of cool? The Imperial March in a major chord. Look it up on YouTube. Different songs, major chord, minor chord. Changes the whole tone of the piece. So News was supposed to offer an alternative voice to the state's will. I know where you're going with this. And now we come full circle, and the News has returned to being the agent of the state. Yes. This is why so many in the United States have turned against the mainstream media, because it has basically become Pravda. The U.S. Pravda is what it is. I haven't seen an ad for a while now. Okay. Cool. Yes, I have, just before you started the stream, and it was some kind of drug commercial. Well, that's going to be changing too with Robert Kennedy Jr. in charge of the whatever the health agency is that he's taken over. The Bill of Rights is that of negative rights. The government shall not. Yeah. Shall not be infringed. Yeah. And unfortunately, we have to keep fighting for those rights in the courts. Right? Second Amendment. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's pretty clear. So when you say, but you can't have this many bullets, or you can't have, an automatic weapon, or you can't have this caliber of weapon, or you can't have a scary looking gun, or, anything that we think might be bad. Sorry, shall not be infringed. Period. Walk away now. Now, if you want to amend the Constitution, that's a different conversation. Until you do that, none of your laws mean anything. Well, they do as long as they believe that they can enforce them. Trump will fix it on his podium. Yeah, I hope so. I sure hope so. Lady Mist is heading out. Fair enough. Girl, you've been with us all night.
Good night, Lady Mist.
Totally understand. Get some good rest. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Let me look back up here. We're still at 280. Michigan is holding out, and so is Minnesota. So those two should be pretty straightforward, right? It should be Michigan red, Minnesota blue. It should be that simple, right? I don't know, man. It's all just loopy juice.
Yeah.
Just notice all of this is filled in. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's filled in. Did I take care of those? Yeah. I filled in just about everything. Except for that little piece in Nebraska. I have no idea. Oh, wait. Nebraska's all done. It's 4-1. So I can finish that one off too. So that one went blue. There we go. So that's Nebraska. Still don't see a path forward for her. Well, let's face it. I mean, let's go back to the official. It's already there. Even if she got this state, all of that, and these two, she still couldn't win. It's done. Now, let me throw cold water on myself here for a second. There's always the possibility that some kind of shenanigans happens and one of these flips blue. Could find out tomorrow that someone, backed in a truck or something. Never know. So Trump going to the White House will have Skeletor and Snake Mountains theme. Okay, yeah, maybe. But yeah, that's hooray. So I'm going to take a moment and jump over to the Senate, see what they're saying about the Senate. 51 Republican, 42 Democrat. Even if they get 7 more, we still have the Senate. You said House was up for grabs, though, right? Yeah, we're still in. We're kind of leading, but we're not done yet. That's very, very interesting. It's very interesting. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's continue to hang out with the president hang out with the president, but I said, listen to me. Do what I say. Damn it. There we go. Trump's talking about the Senate. It looks like the House has been... No, it's not official yet. It does look like it's going to go that way. You're right. Yeah, he may have some information that we don't. And it is looking good. But I don't know. I guess maybe because I've been burned so many times, I'm a little trepidatious. Having a little difficult time being too optimistic. But yeah, I hope so. I hope you're absolutely right. It's conservative across the board. More Republican governors, Republican majority in the House and Senate, and now Republican president. Look, it really comes down to the DNC just... They overplayed their hand and they effed themselves. They really, really did. They were in power, and so they tried to wield it like a cudgel. The problem is, you could be power mongers, but don't be a power monger and be stupid, because then you lose the power. That's how it goes. It's not official. Why is he giving a speech? Official as opposed to declared, whatever. He may have more information than we do. That's all I'm saying. Hey, keep it down. I'm too drunk to stay awake. I just uploaded a song for Trump's victory. Good on you, man. I'll check that out later on. After I sober up, maybe. Have to see the video of all these Democrats, including Harris, talking about how they want to make a new constitution. So much for democracy is on the ballot. Democracy is on the ballot unless you vote for the other guy. Then we want to throw it all out and start over again. That just tells you they're Marxists, right? The American Dark Ages has begun. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, exactly. Actually, I'm feeling pretty damn positive right now. I'm feeling really pretty good. This is good. Trump has asked Vance to speak. Good, because Vance.
Yeah, Vance is on stage. Yeah.
Absolutely. Tonight's stream should get me monetized unless YouTube pulls some shenanigans. They will pull shenanigans, and I don't mean that in like they're trying to keep you down kind of way. When you get real close, they're really, really slow. And that's across the board. Everybody I've talked to has said that. I just went through it. Netter's gone through it. There's lots of red tape to jump through, too. It's a pain in the ass, but you know what? Good on you, mate. You've made it. Let's have a big celebration when you do get up and monetized. I have a real positive attitude, like feel kind of invincible. Okay, well let's keep it in perspective, right? Temper zeal with wisdom, right? The DNC rally.
Yeah, we're going after Lopan after this. Thank you.
The DNC really relied way too much on celebrity power, not realizing We don't worship celebrities anymore. And they would have known that if they'd have paid attention to the kind of numbers that the awards shows have gotten. Nobody gives a crap anymore. What's his name? That Brit guy, Gervais.
Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, he was spot on. He wasn't wrong. Even those of us who are really into the entertainment. Yeah, exactly. And I'm sorry, what was it you were saying, deleted scenes?
No, we're past it. It's all right.
Oh yeah. We don't idolize these professional pretenders anymore. They overplayed their hand. They've made it clear how stupid they are. You know, I've been saying for the longest time, these people that are celebrities, being famous doesn't make you smarter. They're as dumb as anyone else, around you. So quit worshiping and idolizing these idiots. Clinton did that in 2016, roll out the celebrities. Well, it worked for him because he had his own charisma, right? He got a lot of crossover votes. He played the saxophone really well. My only concern is what happens between now and the day Trump takes off. That has been my concern too. I would not put it past these statist warmongers to try to, nuke Iran or something like that. Just to make sure that, I don't know. Yeah. But, yeah. And, okay, here's another prediction that I'm going to make. There's going to be somebody, maybe a number of people are going to claim that the American public is just misogynistic. They hate women. They didn't vote for Kamala. They didn't vote for Hillary. The American people hate women. When, let's face it, we all know it has nothing to do with their friggin' gender. It has to do with their policies, their attitudes, and their idiocy. And I'm not saying that women are idiots. I'm saying those two women are idiots. Right? Look at, what's her name, from Alaska. What's her name? What was her name?
Sarah Palin.
Yeah, Sarah Palin. She's the only reason that gimpy, bald, old Republican did as well as he did. Seriously. They were voting for her, not for him. And if she had run for president herself, I'd have voted for her. Absolutely. But, let's see. I'm so patriotic, I'm going to leave the country if Trump wins. Yeah, exactly. Because all the Republicans are saying, if Kamala wins, I'm not leaving. I'm staying and fighting. Trump just name dropped Musk, of course, and I hope he brings up Tulsi and Robert Kennedy too. We had that tonight. I lost Nemesis, a sub tonight, because we were happy Trump won. Look, I haven't really been hiding my my political bent, and I don't know what everybody in my chat thinks politically. I don't want anyone to leave or stay just because of politics, but if that's who you are, then probably better off without you, because there's so much more going on here than politics, right? Our relationships with people, and this is the other thing too. You had that goofball leftist, blubbering in tears. My father's voting for Trump, and he was my favorite person in the world. Now I see his true colors, and Trump took that away from me. And it's like, Trump didn't take anything away from you. You're a fucking moron, and you're throwing it away. Your father, who was supposed to be so important to you, is less important to you than some political bullshit. Get your priorities on, okay? I mean, this is why the country is so divided, because it's full of morons in cults that identify more with their cult mentality than their families. It's friggin' ridiculous. But of course, that side is trying to destroy the family, so we should not be surprised. Will you see these idiots made their campaign all about them being women, so if they don't win, to them, it was because they're women. True. That is actually an excellent point from their perspective. It doesn't hold up in the numbers, right? Because 50% of this country is women. So why didn't Kamala get 50% of the vote? Because there's a whole lot of women who voted for Trump. Right? Now, an interesting trend that a lot of people have been pointing out, that a lot of women voted early. A lot of men showed up at the polls today. I don't know why that is. That's a correlation, not a causality. But all the early polls were saying Trump. And if if a lot of the early polls were women, a lot of women voted for Trump. Just saying. Just saying. He's talking Elon Musk's spacecraft landing and how awesome it is. Yeah, he's an innovator. We need more of that. We need to privatize more of this stuff. You know, everybody talks about, well, if we'd have just given more money to NASA, we would have gotten, to Mars and Venus and Pluto and Alpha Centauri and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, if you'd have privatized it 50 years ago, maybe we would have left the solar system by now. I predict Troy will fall asleep soon. Fair enough. Maybe. I am a little tired. I heard Trump won, and he is the president and the United States once again. Well, first, let me welcome you, Daniel's Hot Topics. But yes, he did win, but he's not the president of the United States until January 6th when he's sworn in. Biden is still technically the president unless he steps out and Kamala takes over, which could still happen. They could decide that they still want Kamala to be the first female president, so Biden could step down and she becomes president. But I will tell you this, if the first female president is someone who is never elected and receives the position because a man stepped down, that don't look so good for women's lib, does it? Women only win the presidency when it's given to them by a man. There you go, girl. You're the first woman president. Congratulations. DEI insert. Welcome to the party. Oh, I am really... Okay, I'm going to take a look and see what Michigan's doing. What Michigan's doing. I mean, it's definitely leaning red. Mm-hmm. They're saying only 83% in. We got some gray ones here. They say it leans Democrat. Interesting.
You know, I'm seeing some of these numbers that, Kennedy still received, that Jill Stein received.
Yeah.
And I gotta think that cut a couple of pieces of pie off for Harris.
Yes. Yeah, that's a very good point. Let's assume...
look at this. Chase Oliver. I don't know who this is.
Yeah. But let's
almost
just...
18,000 votes,
let's say this is 1.6%. Give it to Kamala. That's 490. 490. Yeah, that would put her closer. Still doesn't get her to victory. See, that's the thing. But it sure doesn't help that she didn't get him.
No.
Yeah, and the only thing I can think is that Robert Kennedy votes are, I can't bring myself to vote for Trump. That's the only thing I can think. Because he told everybody, vote for Trump. And look, we could talk about, states and ballots and all that BS. They fight to keep him off the ballot, but then when he drops out, they should be taking him off the ballot. There's a reason they didn't. They'll claim they couldn't, but they absolutely friggin' could. Yes, that's what I was saying. It would just be another DEI insert. Exactly. I should have brought Dogecoin, since that should be going up because of Elon. Yeah. Well, check the market. See what it is right now. Maybe you still can. Not that this is a recommendation, or don't take investment advice from me. I don't know anything. I'm just saying you absolutely could do that. Look into it. But yeah, that's, man, good stuff. I'm pretty fired up. Dems fought to keep RFK Jr. off the ballot, and then they fought to keep him on. Special pleading anyway? Yeah. So that's another thing. This is another thing that's changed from 4 years ago. So these states like Michigan and Nevada, Arizona, even maybe to some extent Pennsylvania, there's going to be some lawsuits again. And they're going to go very differently this time. There was a lot of lawsuits 4 years ago, and the courts pulled a Pontius Pilate. Nope, not our problem. You don't have standing. You don't have standing. You don't have standing. Standing. That's the judiciary not doing their fucking job. It's what it is. But things are going to be different now. Because now, with a Republican House, Republican Senate, Republican executive branch, majority conservative judiciary, okay, yeah, maybe we should take a look at this. I think things are going to be different this time around. And I hope it's a trend. I hope it's a trend that lasts. We'll see. Hopefully we have established not only a pendulum swing for this election, but hopefully we have seen a pendulum swing in the conservative wing of the government. Right? Get rid of the statist, neocon, so-called conservatives. We need more of the populist right in the Republican Party. And yes, arrest Fauci. Geez, I am surprised that I did not see more people of my age group in the LGBT community coming out against Fauci because of the shenanigans he pulled during the AIDS epidemic.
Yeah.
He did it all over again. He just did it to more people. Pick up The Real Anthony Fauci. It's a good book.
Yeah.
He's already addressing how we are one people and he won't start wars. He wants to stop them. I'm all in. Yeah. Yeah. Not only is he saying that, but we saw him do it in his first term. This is the problem that I have. All the protestations that he's going to be a dictator and he's going to end democracy and blah, 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 and all this other crap. It's like, really? He didn't do it during his first term. He actually left the White House. He didn't mobilize the military against y'all. So where are you getting this from? Seriously, what? Based on what do you believe this? So this is what a red wave looks like. Yeah, finally, right? Well, this is the thing that I was saying, and you know that Jared over at what's it called, the Langley Outdoors Academy was saying. He was saying, look, don't say red wave. It's not a red wave until after it happens. Vote like you're 10 points down, you know? And then when it is a red wave, then you say red wave, you know? Because if you get complacent, you're like the hare and the tortoise and the hare. Be like the tortoise. Where the fuck are you, Michigan? Where's Arizona right now? 50-48, yeah, that's pretty close. Flagstaff, Phoenix, Tucson. Yeah, I can kind of see that. Nevada. Really? Really? 51-46, and it's only Las Vegas. What about Carson City? No, yep, even Carson City. Yep. Yeah. I don't know, man. These states, yeah. So, I was starting to say earlier in the stream, I said that there's been a lot of reform in a lot of these states, which is why we're seeing what we're seeing now. We're not seeing the kind of the kind of steel that we saw 4 years ago. And I think that trend is going to continue because there's still some issues that need to be ironed out, and these states need to get their crap in line. They really do. Make America great for all Americans. Last party just finished. And then YMCA played. Yeah, because of that whole dance thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did that, yeah.
Let me tell you something. The first couple times I saw that meme, I didn't have the sound on. So I just saw them dancing. I'm like, well, that's a goofy dance. And then eventually I saw it with the sound on. I'm like, YMCA? Really? Okay, sure, why not? Well, a lot of Nevada is actually unpopulated. Yeah, that's actually a very good point. The same is true in Montana. And I think Wyoming, too. I think. Some channels are projecting Trump Vance winning the president. Oh yeah, no. We've already assumed it. We're past that. Clear. We unless there's some major shenanigans that changes a state that's already been declared to blue, we're already at 280. He's already got 10 more electoral votes than he needs, and my prediction is 308. But now I'm starting to wonder about Arizona. But, yeah, it's pretty clear. It's, at this point, this is another one where I think that the Democrats have to know that if they pull any crap and go from where we're at now to they win, they're going to have a friggin' revolution on their hands.
Yeah.
Well, the riot shouldn't start. The riot won't start unless some really shady stuff happens and it swings the other way. You know, that's an impossibility right now. And if it does happen, you're going to have the majority of the United States pissed. Look, he won the popular vote. He won the electoral vote. And they're going to say he lost? Yeah. Oh, you mean like January 6th? That kind of rioting? Yeah. Yeah. Where they take a guided tour of the Capitol building and they move a podium. Yeah. Oh my gosh, how did anyone make it out alive? Yeah, rioting where the only people that got shot was one unarmed girl shot by a friggin' bad cop.
Yeah.
And a fat cop who died of a heart attack. My gosh. I think this may have been the longest I've ever been streaming. It started at 7:30, and with a few little breaks in there. 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I'm almost at the 6-hour mark. That's I'm just insane. I'm just nuts.
Yeah.
I really am.
It's actually asking in chat. Troy deleted. Are you guys ready to call it night? Actually, I am going to.
You pretty much have to. You pretty much have to.
Because I have to be at work in like 5 or 6 hours, so I better get myself some. Try and get myself some kind of rest before.
Darth Plato. Let's take a break and then talk about the 2028 election news. Yeah, right? No doubt.
Yeah, I would like to talk about J.D. Vance, Tulsi Gabbard, Vivek Ramaswamy, some of the other names we've brought up. This will be the first of my 140-part series. No. No.
I am getting tired,
I'm
Nate.
kidding.
I am getting kind of tired.
Yeah.
And I am feeling secure enough that
Yeah, I think we're good.
that I think we're good. I'll tell you what, if I get up tomorrow and any of these reds have turned blue,
Shenanigans.
yeah. And I don't think it's going to go the way it did last time, where somebody just moves a podium. There's going to be some real serious stuff happening. And I think they know that. And only the most psychotic of the of the managerial class statists would want to push for that. So yeah, I do think I am gonna put. Yeah, Connie saying put a fork in it, both of you. When Connie says, wrap it up, it's probably time to wrap it up. And he's asking, did you go as David Lynch for Halloween?
I was pretty
He's
much
kind
on
of
the
David
air
Lynch
for
all the time.
Halloween, so
Pretty much always.
yeah, I guess I'm pretty much all the time. Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna. In fact, I'm even gonna take that down, and we'll start wrapping it up, guys. I want to thank all 20 of you that are still here. You crazy bastards, hanging out with this crazy bastard all night. It's just, man, I say that knowing full well how crazy I am, having these Star Wars Holiday Special action figures over my shoulder. That rewatch is coming up pretty soon, in a couple weeks, because got to celebrate Life Day.
No, you don't.
You don't have to show up if you don't want to,
No,
but
you don't have to do that. There is no
I
life
do.
date. It's not
I
canon.
do.
not canon.
I am a nostalgic. It's more canon than those sequel trilogy pieces of crap.
That's not saying much, man.
That is true. Deleted Seeds, this is the first time in my entire life, but I actually had a good time talking politics. I've said that too. Well, no, I take that back. I've always been into politics. When I was in high school, I was on the debate team. I was in the forum club. I even dated a girl who was like opposite side of the political aisle from me. Interestingly, though, now that girl, after breaking my heart and going through her shenanigans in college. She went into the military, got out, married a military guy, and she's a conservative now. So, she came around. She got a good head on her shoulders. So there you go. So, alrighty. Deleted any last thoughts, any last words before we pack it in?
Well, I do want to once again thank everyone who joined us, anyone who was lurking in the background, because there's always a few. You do not have to engage in the chat, just as long as you enjoyed the show. Hit the like, share out the stream, subscribe to our channels if you haven't before. I want to thank everyone who joined us in the chat. You helped keep the show going. I do appreciate it. Thank you, Space Fraggle, for the super chats.
Yep.
And from HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond. Good night. Take care. Stay strong. Be safe. Because this is how we win.
Absolutely. And and I just want to thank all of you guys for putting up with my shenanigans. I was gonna be following this the way I am, whether I was talking or not. But it was a lot more fun with all of you guys here. So you know what? I'm gonna close it up. I'm gonna run the closing credits because the producers deserve to have their names up in lights. Deleted, you don't have to wait. You've got to be dead tired. I get to sleep in, you don't. So I'll catch you guys later. I'll catch all of y'all later. Next stream I'm seeing is on Thursday. So take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Good night, ladies. Good night, sir. Hit it, sweetheart.